touchdown passes in 3 games. Meanwhile, there's a new star on the rise here in Denver. Whit Taylor, who rewrote all the records in college at Vanderbilt, has now burst upon the scene in arena football. He backed up Bobby Hebert in the USFL with the Michigan Panthers and showed us his strong throwing arm here on this touchdown pass. Now Whit Taylor concentrates on arena football and has moved to the great indoors and debuted last week with 10 touchdown passes in Denver's 73-57 win over Washington. So head coach Tim Markham had to make some changes in his coaching staff.
Well, I was the defensive coordinator, of last week. I fired myself on Monday, 57 points. Coach Tom Rossley and Vincent White really handled the offense, and I handled the defense. You can tell the difference catching.
This is McNichols Arena in Denver, Colorado, and the scene of a first-place battle in arena football as the unbeaten Pittsburgh Gladiators are set to go head-to-head with the Denver Dynamite. Hi, everybody. This is Bob Rathman, my partner Lee Corso, to analyze the action tonight. And, Lee, we've got the 2 most exciting teams in arena football on display.
This game features the 2 top scoring teams in the league also. Both of them have the skilled athletes to exploit the man-for-man pass defense that's used in arena football.
And the man who has exploited that man-to-man coverage the most has been Pittsburgh's Russell Hairston. He's been Mr. Whole Show for the Gladiators.
Number 23, Hairston, is quite an athlete. He can run with the football after he catches it. He's got good size, good speed. He's the leading receiver, but also the leading scorer in the entire league.
Well, that's the Pittsburgh story. The new story is being written here in Denver as quarterback Whit Taylor came onto the scene and threw 10 touchdown passes in last week's game. We'll preview Whit Taylor and more in our pregame show from Denver after this. Welcome back to McNichols Arena in Denver, everybody. Pittsburgh and Denver for first place in arena football. Well, the fans here late last week got a rare treat as they enjoyed a truly remarkable performance as their new quarterback, Whit Taylor, burst on the scene with 10 touchdown passes.
Whit Taylor, number 10, did a great job. With 5 days practice, he threw 10 touchdown passes to 5 different receivers. The secret to Whit Taylor's ability is mobile. He can get away from the pass rush. He throws the ball straight from the pocket, and he also throws the ball straight on the run.
It has been quite a change of scenery for Whit Taylor. He traded his lunch pail for a football.
Well, I really had not expected it at all. I was in Nashville working at a lumber company and got a call from Coach Markham on Sunday before I came out last Monday, and he said they needed a quarterback. I knew Coach Markham from San Antonio in the USFL, and I guess that's how he got my name also. So he gave me the call, and I said, shoot, why not? So hopped on the plane the next morning and just started getting after it.
10 touchdown passes, an incredible game, 73-57, a win over Washington. We may see more of the same tonight.
I think he's going to be a great asset to this team. There's no question about it.
So it's Whit Taylor in Denver and Russell Hairston in Pittsburgh, all set to go at it here at McNichols Arena. Back with the kickoff after this. Hard-working refreshment by United Airlines. You're not just flying, you're flying the friendly skies. And by Budweiser, Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. Pittsburgh and Denver, and the head coaches. On the left is Denver's Tim Markham, who won the National Junior College Championship in '79. And on the right, Pittsburgh's Joe Herring, who coached under Walt Michaels with the New York Jets. The Pittsburgh Gladiators will be kicking off in this game to the Denver Dynamite, and Korean-born Lee Larson, the second leading kicker in arena football, will be kicking it off for the Gladiators. So keep in mind the net rule that so often comes into effect on long kicks. Any kick that goes off the net is a live ball. The deep man, number 42, Darrell Taylor, leads the league in returns over 20 yards per kick return in arena football. Pittsburgh is unbeaten. They've won all 3 of their games. Denver is 2-1 and coming off that remarkable 73-57 verdict over Washington. Lee Larson is ready. The Pittsburgh Gladiators ready to charge out of their own end zone. The fans of McNichols are ready, and here we go with arena football from Denver, Colorado. And Darrell Taylor brings it out to the 15. And he's upended by Craig Federico. Let's take a look at the Denver offensive lineup. And, of course, two-way football here in arena ball. You see their offensive and defensive positions. Keep your eye on the man there for the Denver Dynamite. Key man is number 1, Gary Mullen, a wide receiver. And there's the quarterback. Back for an encore performance after that record-setting game of a week ago. Whit Taylor out of Vanderbilt. 1st and 10 for Denver at their own 16. Confusion in the backfield, but Taylor gets it off, and it's complete. And Chris Brewer makes the catch on the near side. Let's take a look at the number 1 defensive unit in arena football, the Pittsburgh Gladiators. The main reason they are 3-0, 16 sacks in 3 victories for Pittsburgh. And the defensive specialist for the Gladiators is the linebacker, Rock Richmond, who hits like a rock. He's number 1 for Pittsburgh in tackles, pass deflections, and interceptions. Whit Taylor completes his first pass and moves the football down to the Pittsburgh 20. And in motion for Denver is Steve Trimble. Complete inside the 10. Steve Trimble making the grab. It's another first down for Denver, and Whit Taylor picking right up where he left off.
And he hit the same pattern both sides. What they did is they sent a man deep, and they put one right behind him. It's the old clear theory and right underneath. A basic theory using the football. That's the reason why that gentleman was wide open. Taylor is hot, and when you're hot, you stay after it.
Just underway in the first quarter from Denver. It's 1st and goal for the Dynamite at the Pittsburgh 8-yard line. Taylor looking to run. Moves it to the 5. Mike Stoops came up to make the hit for Pittsburgh.
That was a nice little option play. Now, that's what Taylor does very well. He put a man in motion and made everybody think he was going to the left, and he ran the option play to the right. Nice little strategy by the coaching staff right away.
Here's a part of the field, Lee, where the defense may have an advantage in arena football.
Yes, because they don't have to defend the depth, and they can play the receivers a lot closer. That's why you don't see the long touchdown pass on this one.
It is 2nd down and goal. Movement in the line. Penalty flag goes down. Taylor to the end zone. Touchdown. But keep in mind the flags are down. Gary Mullen made the catch. But the question of a penalty to be decided. There was some movement, Lee, on that line.
Offside. Defense. Holding. Offense. Number 50. Replay.
So it's going to be 2nd down and goal and just wipe that play right off the books.
Okay, what happened is when they have a penalty on both teams, they just start all over again. In other words, they don't take the most severe penalty. Some people say, well, why don't they take a 10-yard penalty, and if you only had a 5-yard penalty, why don't you give the team 5? But that's not right. They don't do that. I don't know why they don't do that, but they don't do it.
It seems like the fair thing to do would be to mark it off. Absolutely. It nullifies, so 2nd down and goal from the 5-yard line for Denver. Well, you can tell in just a few plays, this young man, Whit Taylor, knows what he's doing back there. As time looks back to the left to Mullen, it's going to be incomplete. And Whit Taylor was out of bounds at the 9-yard line on the near side.
On this low-angle shot replay of Taylor. Now watch, remember I talked to you at the top of the show how mobile he was? Watch, he gets chased out of the pile by number 54 Walzer, but he steps on the out-of-bounds line right there. When he stepped on that, the game stops right there, no matter what happens.
And Taylor took a shot into the boards after he unloaded the pass. It is now 3rd and goal from the 9-yard line. Whit Taylor, the most prolific passer in Vanderbilt history. His senior season was the 1982 campaign and a big intrastate win against the Tennessee Volunteers. 3rd and goal from the 9. No score here in the first quarter, 11:30 remaining. It's complete and out of bounds to Rich Prather at the 5-yard line.
Well, you know, that's an interesting play call right there. He threw a pass that was supposed to be in for a touchdown, but no matter if he'd have caught that ball and ran, he'd have made only 5 yards. Now watch. He puts the fullback, number 34, Prather, in the middle. They try to pick him off, but Prather, the field is not wide enough in arena football for him to go up. If that would have been done at Vanderbilt, they'd have had a touchdown. But he's not playing at Vanderbilt.
Or at Frostburg State, where Prather was. Coming into the game is a new kicker for Denver, Marco Morales. He was signed this week. He's a left-footed kicker, and he'll kick it out of the Whit Taylor hole from the 12-yard line. So this is a 20-yard field goal attempt, and he's got it. A penalty flag goes down. So they'll decide about the yellow flag here. Bill Parkinson checking in with his people.
Line up inside on that. Illegal rush. The number 8 in the defense. Field goal's good.
So the first field goal in 4 games for the Denver Dynamite is on the board, and Denver takes a 3-0 lead over Pittsburgh with 10:45 to play in the opening quarter from McNichols Arena in Denver. It jumps off to a 3-2-0 lead on a field goal of 20 yards by the new man on the scene, Marco Morales. The deep men for the Pittsburgh Gladiators, number 8, Ricky Mitchell, pulled a hamstring in practice a couple of days ago. We'll check on his condition as the game moves on. And number 31, John McClellan. And the man who just hit Denver's first field goal of the year, he's the 3rd kicker they've employed. Marco Morales is set to kick it away to the Pittsburgh Gladiators. 3-0 Denver lead. And Morales with the boot. Fumbled in the end zone. Mitchell goes to one knee. A touchback. Pittsburgh has it first down from the 5-yard line. So the Gladiators come out, and we've done a lot of talking, Lee, about the quarterback of Denver, Whit Taylor, but Pittsburgh's got a pretty good quarterback of their own, Brendan Fulmar.
Brendan Fulmar has hit 49 for 72. He's hit 49 of 72 passes for 525 yards. He's a good football player. There's Joe Herring. Joe knows that this is going to be the toughest game he's had by far. There's Brendan Fulmar, the quarterback.
The first of 2 regular season meetings. Pittsburgh and Denver play next weekend at the Civic Arena. Now Fulmar puts a man in motion. That is Mike Stoops. And he goes to his big gun, the wide out, Russell Harrison. And Russell makes the catch at the 13-yard line. The defensive specialist for the Denver Dynamite is Rob DeVita. And he is into the ballgame. He is the man who takes the quarterback's place. And what an effective job he does, Lee. He leads the team with 4.5 sacks.
But he's also their inspirational leader. He's the team leader on defense.
9 minutes, 50 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Denver leading 3-0. Pittsburgh has it 2nd down and 3 from their own 13. Fulmar. Intercepted by Denver, and Steve Trimble at the 20 and out of bounds and into the board. Steve Trimble intercepts the pass for the Denver Dynamite, and the home team has it inside the Pittsburgh 20-yard line. And a penalty flag went down as Steve Trimble picks off his 2nd pass of the campaign. The penalty, Lee, seemed to come after the interception.
Well, I think they're a little confused. It looked like right now they're having a little discussion about what penalty came first. There's 1, 2. There's only 3 flags down there, isn't there?
When you see 4 flags from 3 referees, then you know we got a problem.
Then you know Joe Herring wrote the coach that's moving out there.
So now Parkinson once again checks with his lineman, and Bill's going to tell one and all what the call is.
Offside. Defense. Personal foul. Number 60 on the defense.
Okay, what that does, that's the longest discussion in the history of arena ball by the officials. And there's 2 penalties, so what they'll do is they'll tack on a 10-yard penalty here because of the major part of that penalty being... Tim Marco doesn't know what's going on. I tell you what, he's an aggressive football coach right there. Yeah, that's it, Coach. Give it to him.
He's really chipping the ivory.
It's a good thing we don't have him mic'd in this game.
So Pittsburgh does not suffer an interception. Brendan Fulmar and company back in business, and they've got it 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Man in motion is Stoops. Back to pass Fulmar. Incomplete. Too tall for Stoops at the Denver 20. And there to defend was Woody Cotman, a young man out of the notorious State.
Cotman made a nice play there at number 21. He's a good football player and is playing very well at 5'10", 170. But John Norris, number 65, put his helmet right in the puss of Brendan Fulmar, and that's why he threw the ball high. As you know, he's throwing the ball high. That means he's not following through.
2nd down and 10 for Pittsburgh from the Gladiator 20. Harrison wide to the near side. They go the other way to Mike Stoops. Mike takes it down to the 20-yard line and very close to a Pittsburgh first down. They'll check the chains and see whether it is 1st and 10 or a 3rd down and inches.
Boy, this is one of the most difficult calls in arena football. This 3rd down and inches. Remember, we talked about it when we were on the show before. Do you go for a quarterback sneak? I say he should go for a quarterback sneak no matter what.
So we'll see how Joe Herring decides to play here on 3rd and inches. Pittsburgh into Denver territory for the first time. McClellan in motion. Stoops, the quarterback falls forward. Brendan Fulmar, and let's see if it's close. Enough for that first down. They're going to spot the football, and that's the most important thing of all.
Okay, the reason I don't like that play in a replay, you can see it. You do not take the ball and move it backwards when you only got 6 inches to go. You go forward and drive it. That's a horrible call. And I tell you what, it's happened 6 times in arena football.
Is it just maybe a mental mistake in the quarterback?
No, what happens is they don't practice the quarterback sneak long enough. Now you ought to run a quarterback sneak. Try it. See what happens. You might like it.
4th and inches now. At the 20, the Denver Dynamite defensive players think,
he made a first down.
It's over the 20, and they're going to bring the chains out just to make sure. Rob DeVita leading the defensive charge for Denver. And again, it was Brendan Fulmar to try to sneak it for that first down.
You know, you talk about it's fun in this league. You see the expression on Herring and Markham's face, those 2 coaches? There's the first down because of the quarterback sneak.
By the length of the ball, so Pittsburgh keeps the drive alive. Tim Markham, the Denver head coach, continues a running conversation with the linesman on the Denver sideline. There's Brendan Fulmar's statistics from a week ago, now trying to put his foot on the board today. They can take the lead, and they do. A touchdown pass to Russell Hairston. That's the 10th touchdown catch in 4 games. And Pittsburgh takes a 6-3 lead.
Oh, this is unbelievable. You know what they did? On this replay, you're going to see a perfect example of a guy going down. Now watch Hairston, number 23, fake to his left, and Cotman right there takes his wrong step. Boom, he's got him. You never allow a post pattern in any football. You make the guy throw it outside, never inside. Never.
Boy, and 1 step beats you in this game quicker than anything.
Especially inside, because it's easier to throw. There's the swinging gate. Now watch, they'll put everybody in the left, and then they'll swing over to the right and kick it. I'll explain that later on in the show. It's a terrific theory. Never works, but it's terrific.
Here's Lee Larson, the kick. High snap. Fulmar gets it down, and the kick is no good. It was wide to the left, and a penalty flag goes down. Lee Larson, the Pittsburgh kicker.
Running into the kicker. 65 on the defense.
So interference called against John Norris.
Bob, you know what that penalty is? That's when any time a defensive man runs into a kicker. The reason why that's a penalty, that's a dangerous position. Big John Norris right there, 6'4" or 6'3", 260 pounds, took a good shot at him. The reason why that's a dangerous play is because the kicker is unprotected, and he's in an awkward position that could really hurt.
So Larson, who is 8 for 17 in kicking points after touchdown, gets a reprieve, and he'll try it again. They'll spot the ball at the 10, so 18 yards to the upright and crossbar. Nearly blocked by Cotman, and another penalty flag goes down as once again they ran into the kicker. Boy, is this exciting? Listen, now we got this one. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. When you take a guy and put him in a position in an awkward way, he's going to, I'll let the official explain this to you, then I'll go over it.
No foul on the play. He was blocked into the receiver.
Okay, now watch. As you see this play, it's not a penalty when the offensive player knocks him into the kicker. But you notice the kicker is in that awkward position. That's why it's dangerous. But he was knocked into him, and therefore it's not a penalty.
So Tim Markham's Denver Dynamite now trailing the Pittsburgh Gladiators. First quarter action from McNichols, 6:47 to play, and the Gladiators have a 6-3 advantage. Pittsburgh 6-3 leaders over Denver here in the opening quarter. And the deep man for Denver is number 42, Darrell Taylor, who leads the league in returns, averaging almost 21 yards per return. And Lee Larson, who missed that extra point and was blocked into the play, so there was no foul and no score. So Pittsburgh settles for just the touchdown, and they lead 6-3. Here's a kick that appeared to hit up in the rafters and drop straight down. And the return by Darrell Taylor gets it out to the 9-yard line. You see the officials pointing up. It seemed to have hit a speaker or some part of the scaffolding. Bill Parkinson.
Re-kick. The ball hit the superstructure. Re-kick. Put 4 seconds back on the clock. 4 seconds back on the clock.
You know what? If Bill Parkinson keeps it up, he's going to have more time on television than Jackie Gleason had. He's been on. He's the most valuable player in arena football already.
He's going to have to somebody work on his hand. The way he keeps fiddling with that microphone, he's going to get a workout. So another kick for Lee Larson here. Pittsburgh leading it by a score of 6-3. Larson again to kick to Darrell Taylor.
Ball.
The Gladiators come in unbeaten. And we'd like to congratulate Ray Yock and the Chicago Bruisers on their victory last night. They knocked off the Washington Commandos 37-36.
Also congratulate Mouse Davis. He gave Chicago a few more players that has helped that Coach Yock. Coach Yock's a competitive coach, and he's got that team turned around. This whole league is a unit now and a family and getting better.
So the rhythmic applause at McNichols as Larson gets set to kick it off to Taylor. Here's the kick, line drive to Taylor. 10, 15, cuts back 20, and up to the 22. So with Taylor and company, take over after the 5 return by Taylor. First down and 10 from the Denver 22-yard line. With Taylor calling the play, and we'll see which way he goes. He's going to take Gary Mullen, number 1, and send him out wide to the right side. A talented receiver. Darrell Taylor the wing, now coming in motion. Taylor under pressure, but gets rid of it. They had been hit as he was throwing the ball, and it's incomplete. Now, the key to good pass defense, as you said so often, Lee, is a great pass rush.
That time, number 54, Greg Walls from Indiana, 6'2", 215 pounds, put the pressure on him. The best pass defense in the history of football is knocking the quarterback flat on his back. It's hard to spiral a football flat on your back.
And this Pittsburgh team has done a great job at pressuring quarterbacks. It's second down and 10 for Denver. Trimble now going in motion. Incomplete. Number 26, Chris Brewer, unable to hang on at the 18-yard line. So it's going to be third down at 10. And there's Scott Dimitrenko, the nose guard. Played at the State University of New York at Albany. 6'2", 227.
Denver on third down has made 32% of the time. They've hit 10 out of 31, which is not really that bad in this league.
So Denver, who has now with Taylor quarterback and with an all-SEC selection his last 2 years at Vanderbilt, now has a third down situation in front of him. Taylor going deep. Mullen, incomplete. Mullen working against Hairston, and that's what a matchup.
Boy, that's a great replay on this. This is the 2 finest athletes in this league. Now watch Mullen on the bottom. Number 1, give him a head and shoulder fake to the right, get him to turn around, and then he's got him beat. But the ball was overthrown. He did not throw that ball with enough arc. If he would have, Mullen could have run under it, number 1, and made a touchdown pass on that.
Hairston's a receiver by trade. It's tough to teach those offensive guys the defensive steps.
Very tough.
Now, Marco Morales comes into the game to try a field goal. Whit Taylor stops it down at the 14. This is a 44-yarder. Off the net, playable. Mitchell, loose ball in the end zone. And it's going to be a touchback. Pittsburgh covers, and they'll have it first and goal from the 5-yard line. Well, you always have to hold your breath on those balls off the net.
Because that's the difference between arena football and everything. There's a new kicker. He did a good job on that one. Just a little bit to the right.
Marco Morales from San Diego State. I missed it by that much. We'll be back to McNichols Arena in Denver in just a moment. Well, after all the pregame hullabaloo about Whit Taylor, Pittsburgh's thrown a blanket over him so far.
Both teams are playing good defense. You know, when you get to the big ball games, Super Bowl, Arena Bowl, the best team playing the best defense usually wins. Doesn't make any difference what league it is.
4:14 to play in the opening quarter. And it is Pittsburgh leading Denver by a 6-3 score. The Gladiators have it. First down and 10 from their own 5-yard line. Brendan Fulmar, 3 for 4 for 37 yards. And upstairs, and he's got Hairston in a crossing pattern. He breaks it down the sideline. Russell Hairston is going to go all the way for the touchdown. No flags, and Pittsburgh takes a lead of 9 to make that 12-3. For the second time today, it's Fulmar to Hairston.
We talked about this at the top of the show. Not only does Hairston catch the ball well, but he runs well after he catches it. Watch Woody Copman. I told him, don't let him catch an inside cut on him. Now watch, he stiff arms Woody Copman, who's only 5'10", 170, and outruns everybody else. The great receivers make good runs and turn into running backs after they catch the ball. That's what makes Hairston such a superstar of arena football.
Lee Larson. Now we're going to go for 2. They're going to leave Larson on the bench. This the point after touchdown. Fulmar throwing, zips it into the end zone, and that is going to be a completion to number 31, John McClellan, for the 2-point conversion. So Pittsburgh puts 2 more points on the board. And now the Gladiators have taken a 14-3 lead as Russell Hairston leads the way for the Gladiators. The quarterback wide receiver connection for Pittsburgh, Brendan Fulmar to Russell Hairston, has clicked twice in the first 11 minutes of this first quarter. 2 touchdown passes, and Pittsburgh leads it 14-3. Darrell Taylor is set to return it for the Denver Dynamite. Here's the Lee Larson kick. It is going to be off the net. Taylor watches it roll out of the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh elected to go for a 2-point conversion, Lee, and they went upstairs, and Fulmar did a good job threading the needle.
Keep your eye on number 31 on the top right-hand corner of your picture. He sneaks over right there, just gets across the goal line. McClellan, perfect pass by Fulmar. Now, here's an interesting point when they get back on defense. 2 touchdowns. Harrison's beat Cobman twice. Remember at lunch, I said change the guy. Change another deep, put another guy on him. Try it anyhow, right? And there's Taylor. He's got to bring his team from behind.
He's missed his last 3 passes. It's 14-3 Pittsburgh here in the first quarter, and Taylor going to work. He throws deep, Trimble's got it, one-hand grab, he breaks the tackle, and he's gone. Yard touchdown pass from Whit Taylor to Steve Trimble, and the Dynamite got the Pittsburgh lead to 5. Tim Markham's Dynamite scoring with lightning-like swiftness. Indeed, living up to their nickname of TNT. Taylor to Trimble, and they score it. Now coming in, Marco Morales. He gets the point after. There's the movement on the line. Penalty flags go. Kick is blocked. Let's see what the penalty's all about here. Craig Federico, number 45, was the movement for Pittsburgh.
Defensive encroachment. Half the distance.
So Marco Morales will kick it again. Key point here, too, Lee. You can't afford to lose any points in the kicking game.
Because that could be the difference. When you have 2 great teams playing, or 1 and 2 playing, defense in the kicking game almost always decides who wins the ball game.
Marco Morales has kicked a field goal and now tries to tack on the point after. 3:31 to go in the first quarter, and the kick is blocked. No good, and the score remains the same.
We got a chance to watch Steve Trimble on this number 40 from Maryland. As he comes down, he's going to beat number 29, Richmond, their best defensive back. It's a low-angle shot. Watch his eye concentration with his hand right here. Watch the hand and eye concentration. Beautiful. I tell you what, if a young kid could see that play there over and over again, that's the essence of receiving. Keeping your eye on the football if you put one or two hands on there. Great play by Steve Trimble, number 40.
On the extra point, Marco Morales tried it, but it was blocked by Pittsburgh. Good line shot.
Yeah, keep your eye on 54. Walls got in there. Left-handed and batted the ball away. That could be important.
Have to keep track of these field goal points. We'll relay them to you. Opportunities for kicking points, and then here it hits the crossbar and comes out. It's covered by Denver. Let's see if it goes out of bounds. Nope, Pittsburgh ball. It went out of bounds, so Denver could not cover it in time. We've seen balls off the net, Lee, but that's the first time I can recall seeing one hit the crossbar.
Now, the percentages of doing that is very slim and none. But the crowd, you see that? That's one of the things it said. Here's the replay on it. Now, watch. The percentage of hitting this thing is slim and none. But when it hits it, watch. Boom. It really comes ricocheting off. And it just gets out of bounds, or that Denver team would have had the ball on about the 6-yard line.
Instead, it's Pittsburgh's ball. They've got a 1st and 10 from their own 5-yard line. Brendan Fulmar going back to Wood. Over the middle. Too long. Mullen trying to chase it down. They tried to hit number 28, Jim Raftery. And it's an incomplete pass, making it 2nd down and 10.
That's a perfect example. That's the same exact play they ran with Hairston, who scored 2 touchdowns. But Raftery does not run it like Hairston.
Jimmy played at Colgate, and there's the head coach of the Denver Dynamite, Tim Markham. And let's listen in. Jimmy has anything to say.
Come on now, get some pressure.
2nd and 10. Incomplete. It hit the shoulder pads of number 31, John McLennan. Then the hit was applied by Clyde Skipper, number 80, and nearly an interception opportunity.
Absolutely, and you heard the coach, Tim Markham, put pressure. The secret to this game is how much you can pressure that other quarterback and make him throw the ball quicker than he wants to throw.
So 3rd and 10. Clyde Skipper played at Oregon Tech. He's 24 years old and in that secondary for the Dynamite. Russell Hairston at the top of your screen. He's caught 3 passes, 2 of them for touchdowns here in the first quarter. Fulmar, he's sacked for a safety by Rob DeVita. Add 2 for the Denver Dynamite. It is now 14-11.
Watch Rob DeVita, number 32, shoot the gap. They had a busted assignment. Now he's the 2nd man from the right there. The right guard did not block the right man, and it got a safety. The interesting thing about that is that the Pittsburgh defense has caused 6 safeties, and the other teams in the whole league have only had 3. So look at that. They got beat by their own weapon right there.
14-11 Pittsburgh. A minute 42 to go in the first quarter. So now Pittsburgh will be kicking off to Denver. And once again, it is Darrell Taylor, the leading return man in the league, back deep to take it. Pittsburgh 14, Denver 11. Lee Larson will be kicking it off for the Gladiators. Boy, this has been an action-packed first quarter. Gladiators 14, Dynamite 11. And here's the Larson kick. This one's going to be off the net. Taylor downs it for the touchback. Well, Denver comes out 1st and 10 from their own 5-yard line. A minute 34 remaining in the opening quarter. Now coming up on ESPN Live Saturday, August the 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern Time will be the championship game, the Arena Bowl, right here on ESPN. The first place team against the second place team. And there's some competition among the fans to see who gets to host that game.
Yes, the team that has the highest average attendance will have that ball game.
Taylor, complete. Darrell Taylor out to the 27. This was the combination lead that clicked last week as Taylor caught 11 passes from Whit Taylor.
Taylor's an outstanding receiver. He's 5'10", 185 pounds. He played at Lincoln. And he's beaten Rafferty, number one-on-one, number 28 that time. Taylor to Taylor is looking dynamite.
4 touchdown passes for Darrell in that wild game against Washington last week. First down at 10 from the 17 for the Denver Dynamite. You see the wave in the background here at McNichols. Trimble in motion. Taylor back to pass. Mullen. Touchdown, Denver. The Denver Dynamite taking a lead of 17-14 as Gary Mullen hauls in the long touchdown pass. He played collegiately for Don Neyland in West Virginia. And I know, Lee, you like that young man's physical attributes. Speed to burn.
5'11", 170. Great athlete. Has great mobility. And run. There's no excuse for letting that guy beat you to the inside. I'll show it to you later.
Denver going for 2 on the point after. Taylor tries to run the outs and ducks away from a couple of men. Slips and falls, and the attempt for 2 fails. Jim Rafferty making the tackle on Taylor on the conversion. Denver's taking the lead on this play.
All right, you'll watch Mullen right there. He comes down and beats Best with a fake there and goes deep. You cannot allow the man to go to your inside. Now watch. Best will backpedal. Mullen will give him a head and shoulder fake to the right and then break to the left. You cannot allow the man to run to the inside. There's no help there. You got to force him to the outside into the United Airlines or ESPN sign.
Well, go down to the ESPN sign and do a hook, and I'll hit you with a pass. Denver taking the lead at 17-14 with Taylor's second touchdown pass of the night. 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Now Denver kicks it off to Pittsburgh. Windshield wiper football. It's back and forth and back and forth. And 30 seconds to go in the quarter, and Pittsburgh now tries to return it. And the defense, Ricky Mitchell and John McClellan. And McClellan's going to watch this one sail past the net and out of bounds, and that's a touchback. So 25 seconds to go in the quarter. 17-14, the Dynamite on top, and Brendan Fulmar back to action. We mentioned earlier about the Chicago win last night, their first of the year for the Bruisers. Washington also won in 3. You see Pittsburgh at the top of the heap at 3-0, and the Denver Dynamite right behind at 2-1. If Denver can win, we'll get a first place tie. Pressure. Fulmar throws. Incomplete. And nearly a tremendous grab by Mike Stoops at the 10-yard line. Good pressure by Keith Smith. There's Stoops, and he still nearly made that grab. That's going to be the final play of the opening quarter from McNichols Arena in Denver. The Denver Dynamite coming back behind the strong right arm of Whit Taylor to take a 17-14 lead at the end of one period. Begin the second quarter in Denver, and the Dynamite with a 17-14 lead over Pittsburgh. Jim Markham's forces down in double digits, but they've come back with 2 Whit Taylor touchdowns to take the lead. Now Pittsburgh tries it. Fulmar floats it. It's complete to Harrison. He drops the ball, and it belongs to who? Pittsburgh out of bounds inside the 5. Boy, it looked like Harrison had touchdown all the way, but dropped the football.
Okay, that time they tried to cover him a little tighter. Now watch. You get him up what they call bump and run is what the Los Angeles Rams made famous. Right there, he gets him up close. He's got bump and run coverage. Watch the concentration on 23 Harrison. He makes a good play. He's starting to run the ball. His feet tremble. He drops it. Now remember, the rule is that you must have control of the ball. He kicked it out of bounds. He didn't have control, and that's why it's the white ball going to your right.
Pittsburgh is none the worse for wear. They've got it first and goal inside the 5. Fulmar under pressure, nearly intercepted. Federico picks the pass up, goes into the end zone for the touchdown. Rich Prather thought he had an interception, but no, it was Federico, the fullback, making the grab, and Joe Herring's team comes back to take the lead. 20-17, Gladiators with the extra point coming up. Prather could not believe that ball went through his hands. Lee Larson coming in to kick the point after touchdown for Pittsburgh. Well, we're on the seesaw. Now Pittsburgh's got the lead, but 14:07 to go in the first half. Quarterback Brendan Fulmar is the holder. Puts it on the tee, and the kick is good. So Lee Larson adds the point after touchdown. 14:07 to go. And now it's Pittsburgh up by 4. In the battle of the quarterbacks, Brendan Fulmar with 3 touchdown passes. He just hit that one to Craig Federico. Now Denver to receive the kick, and Darrell Taylor, the deep man for the Dynamite. Pittsburgh 21, and the Denver Dynamite 17. Lee Larson, the kickoff man for the Gladiators. Korean-born, kicked collegiately at the University of Hawaii. Taylor. 5. Hit and drop. Just spins away. They do not rule him down. Now they do as he gets to the 6-yard line. Well, here's the touchdown play for Pittsburgh a moment ago. Lee Fulmar hitting Federico.
Okay, the key play in there is watch this guy Rick Prather and watch that guy Federico. They'll put a man in motion and they'll pick him off. Federico goes to the flat. Prather tries interception, doesn't get it. He gets the touchdown. Watch it. You'll see this a great play. Now, as he comes down the line, watch number 34 in the middle of your picture. He gets picked off almost. Ooh, great concentration by Federico and a touchdown for the Pittsburgh Ball Club.
Right, Federico out of Illinois State with the touchdown play. Now Whit Taylor going to work, and incomplete. At the 13-yard line, Darrell Taylor was defending against Mike Stoops. Both coaches, Joe Herring of Pittsburgh and Tim Markham of Denver, have really been going at it with the referees.
Either they're going to get called for some kind of a penalty, or they've been to acting school and they know they're on television this week. Boy, they're putting a show on for us, aren't they?
Hey, Coach Green.
Both coaches candidates for the John Barrymore School of Acting Award tonight.
Okay, Herring's got Manning right there. That's Ed Manning, his official. Jeff Bergman is on the other side with Tim Markham.
Twin receivers, wide left for Denver. Now they break Brewer back in motion toward the formation. Taylor throwing, wide open. The catch is made at the 20, and the tackle is made at the 16. Chris Brewer made the grab. Someone lost the assignment because Brewer was wide open.
What happened on that time, on this replay, you're going to see they had a man in motion, and they made a misassignment. Now, let me tell you what they did. They crossed. And in arena football, they have what they call a verbal sound, like you got him and I got him, but they found out they can't hear inside. And that's why you'll see guys like that, like Brewer, wide open sometimes.
When you say they can't hear inside, it's because of the noise.
Because of the noise back. In open stadiums, you can talk and hear each other on defense. You can't in arena football.
Denver has it 1st and 10 for the Pittsburgh 17. Taylor. Oh, what a Houdini move that was. And the pass is incomplete, nearly intercepted by Mike Stoops. Whit Taylor with a tremendous escape as he split not only his own player, but a defender as well.
Houdini is number 10. Watch him. Whoop! He goes underneath him, but he doesn't get away from Scott Dimitrenko, who lands right on top of him. And that was called in the grass, which means he had a hold of him. He got rid of the ball, but he had a hold of him, and that's why they called the ball down there.
So a loss back to the 24-yard line. Denver has it 2nd down, and about 19 yards to go. Taylor's numbers so far. Looking to the end zone. Gary Mullen's got it. Touchdown. Dynamite. His 2nd touchdown catch of the game. Gary Mullen. 24 yards. And for Whit Taylor, the Denver fans applauding his efforts. 13 touchdown passes in exactly 6 quarters.
What a nice-looking athlete that Gary Mullen is. In West Virginia, he averages over 20 yards per reception. He's a touchdown threat.
Former San Diego State kicker Marco Morales is in to kick it for Denver. Bad snap. Taylor now trying to make something happen. He's looking. He throws to his kicker, Morales, and Morales was looking for somebody to hand it off to. He got down to the 10.
He wanted to hand it to that official as fast as he could, I'll tell you.
11:09 to go in the second quarter. And it's the Denver Dynamite back on top, 23-21 over the Pittsburgh Gladiators.
This is where Michael Jordan kept practicing his jump.
It's Denver 23 and Pittsburgh 21. We have 11 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the second quarter. And the points keep coming fast and furious. Now here's the kickoff into the net. Ricky Mitchell's going to try to return it. He's going to watch it rolls out of bounds for a touchback. The kick's off the net. And trying to, the receivers still haven't got a handle on it.
No, because remember they were practicing, and now they're starting to get used to it. They have one man goes underneath it, and one man goes farther behind. But like Ricky Mitchell there, it's not his fault. Believe me, we've tried it, you and I, and it's very difficult to see that ball come off there.
10 minutes and 58 seconds to play in the first half. Dynamite 23, Gladiators 21, and Brendan Fulmar, the quarterback for the Gladiators. He's matched with Taylor, each quarterback with 3 touchdown passes. First and 10 from the 5. McClellan in motion. Incomplete to Stoops at the 10. Steve Trimble defending number 40. There's Mike Stoops, who made a name for himself in the Big Ten at the University of Iowa.
He's all Big Ten, and he's a good football player. But let me tell you something. You want to know why all those touchdown passes are going for the post route, and you don't see it in the National Football League? Because they have a free safety in the National Football League, and everybody forces him into that guy, and he picks him off. There's no free safety in arena ball.
So that means Russell Hairston has one-on-one coverage. They're going to go the other way, though, and it's incomplete. McClellan, the intended receiver, and coming up to defend was number 80, Clyde Skipper. We see the defensive matchup, Lee, on the near side. You take a look at Skipper. Number 1 for Denver, Gary Mullen, and the wide receiver for Pittsburgh, Russell Hairston. It's just a matter of time before they throw Hairston's way.
Absolutely. What you try to do in football or in any sport is to put your strength against the other guy's weakness more times. And if you do that, you usually win the ball game. Now, that's strength 23 against strength number 1 on the bottom of your picture.
I'll bet you buck they throw to Hairston right now. 3rd and 10. Fulmar looking to Hairston. It's complete and out of bounds. It's a first down for the Gladiators at the Pittsburgh 19.
Now the secret of pass protection, the secret is pass protection right here. No matter how good a quarterback. Now watch Federico get a good block on number 20. Kelly Kirschbaum right there. Fulmer drops it and throws it off his front foot. Well-coached quarterback right there, throwing off the front foot.
First down and 10 for the Pittsburgh Gladiators. They trail 23-21. We have 8:45 to go in the second quarter. Deep, intended for Hairston, and too long. That time Clyde Skipper was the defensive man for the Dynamite. That'll make it second down and 10 for Fulmer and company. Brendan played collegiately at California, University of California in Pennsylvania. Played for the Vulcans. Starting quarterback at 85 and last fall, 1986. One of the top Division II passers in the NCAA last year. Number 2 in arena football in passing. 68% completion percentage coming into this game. Stoops in motion. And Stoops makes the catch. Trimble takes him into the boards. He's out of bounds at the 11. It's a first and 10 for Pittsburgh.
Okay, now watch this. You watch this man in here. These are the key guys to watch right in there. As they come across, you put the man in motion. Now, you'll see the man come in motion. Now, watch number 30. As number 30 comes down, he gets isolated one-on-one, and they cross. And when they cross, they pick the men off. That's a terrific-looking camera work, man. Now, that's what they call crossing of patterns, and that's just like basketball picking off men. That's like the NBA.
The best of a lot of sports comes into arena football. And Pittsburgh now trying to put it in the end zone. The football gets to the end zone, but it went through the hands of Hairston first, an incomplete pass. 23-21, Denver leading, 6:55 to go in this second quarter.
Again, this is the most difficult place right here to throw touchdown passes because they don't have enough depth. You know those long passes? So the defensive players can get up there. Joe Herring is concerned. This is a tough football team he's playing. He's playing away from home, and there is a definite home court advantage or home AstroTurf advantage in arena football.
All right, a big crowd filing into McNichols Arena. Still coming in. Well over 10,000 on hand tonight. Second and 10 for the Gladiators. To the end zone at Hairston. He got a foot down. Touchdown. Tremendous grab by Russell Hairston. His third touchdown catch of the game. 27-23 Gladiators.
What a sensational catch this is. This is strength against strength. Now watch, he just throws it up in the air, and there goes Hairston. Watch it go high and catch the ball with great concentration and bring one foot in. Remember, the rule is all you need to do is put one foot. And there, Gary Mullen is wishful thinking. That's a great play by Hairston.
And the fact, the size mismatch. Hairston much taller than Mullen and able to climb the ladder and haul in the pass.
6'3" compared to 5'11".
27-23 Pittsburgh, 6:13 to go in the second quarter. And Lee Larson to boot the extra point. The kick is good. So with 6 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the first half, the Gladiators now have constructed a 5-point lead.
This is a hamburger getting hard and dry because it's cooking on a flame that's too high. At Hardee's, we make our quarter-pound hamburgers at a lower temperature, so they cook up thicker, succulent, full of natural juices, and the flavor doesn't go up in smoke. Hardee's, we're out to win you over.
The Pittsburgh Gladiators have taken a 5-point lead over the Denver Dynamite, 28-23. 6 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the second quarter. That touchdown pass was good for 11 yards. As Fulmar has thrown 4 scores. Taylor, the deep man for Denver. Larson kicks it away. Off the net. Taylor to the outside 5. Cuts the corner and gets it out to the 8-yard line. Oh, Brendan Fulmar with his 4th touchdown pass, and this one, Lee, got the Gladiators back on top.
It goes to Russell Hairston. Now watch him. This is an automatic play. If they play it close, they dump the ball high. Now watch Hairston go real high in the air, out jump Mullen. Now there's a bunch of lines back there, but that white one back there is the one that counts. He had both feet in. That's a great job of camera work by our crew up there. Remember, the rule is this. You need to keep 1 foot in. If you get 2, that's a bonus.
But still 6 points. 28-23 Gladiators. 5:40 to play in the half. And with Taylor, quarterback for the Dynamite, and here he goes. And he pulls the ball back down and gets sacked by Craig Walls. That's the 3rd sack for the Gladiators. And Walls leading probably the most impressive defensive front of the 4 clubs in this league.
He's got real good quickness. He played linebacker at Indiana when I was the coach there. He was a second-team All-Big Ten player, a native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's got nice quickness, and he got to the guy then.
So Denver now has it 2nd down and 15 yards to go. Taylor throwing from his own end zone. Lofts it high from Mullen. And too long. Incomplete. The defender had fallen down. Number 29, Rock Richmond, had hit the turf. And Gary Mullen was open, but the pass far too long from Taylor. He's now 8 for 14.
I'd like to say something about that turf, too. That is the best turf we've seen in arena ball so far. It's an AstroTurf. It's beautiful. It's got all of it, and it's very few creases in it. That's a good-looking turf right there.
It is one of the factors that the founder, Jim Foster, is very much aware of as he gets set for what he hopes will be a flourishing 1988 arena football season. I think you'll see good turf in all the cities next year. Taylor under pressure. Federico drops him at the 2-yard line. Craig Federico, sack number 4 for the Gladiators.
Federico made that tackle, but Scott Dimitrenko, number 98, 6'2", 227, was the man who forced Taylor out of the pocket. So Federico right there, number 45, could make the tackle. Played at Illinois State for Bob Oltowski. I mentioned his name, Bob Oltowski, because he coached for me for 7 years. A little plug.
Doesn't hurt. Now, the new kicker for Denver, Marco Morales, will try this from his own end zone, this field goal attempt. He's 4 yards deep in his end zone. 62-yarder, and it will be returned. Ricky Mitchell at his own goal line. Sidesteps one man, now breaks it. And hard into the boards at the 17. Mitchell took a shot. Number 26, Chris Brewer, the Denver Dynamite, was there, and he really shillelagh'd him right into the boards. Hit, and some of the Denver players were walking off their bench. The fans sitting right on top of the action, loving every second of it.
This is like the Broncos versus the Raiders. What a rivalry. Watch him get cracked right there. Boom! Right into the stands. And 98, Dimitrenko said hello to one of the guys right there and knocked him down, too. This is a spirited game.
It has been indeed. 3:25 to go in the first half. Gladiators lead it 28-23. And Brendan Fulmar, 9 for 17, 172 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he hits Russell Hairston. And the pass is incomplete. Hairston did not gain the reception there. He did not have possession, so it's an incomplete pass at the 22.
Now, you know who they got on Hairston now? They got Clyde Skipper, 6 foot 187.
He has played much more in this game than we've seen him in the previous
He was a defensive back, intercepted 10 passes at Oregon Tech when he played there. The reason why they put him on there, he can't do any worse than Woody Cotner did. Cotner had 2 touchdowns against him, and so far he's kept him to 1.
It's second down at 10 for the Gladiators. Pittsburgh leading at 28-23. 2:35 the clock rolling until the 1-minute warning. Stoops in motion. Long pass, and too long. Incomplete for Stoops. Down at the Denver 15. Hairston also in the vicinity.
Clyde Skipper's doing something very interesting, number 80, as he's playing Hairston now on his inside and forcing him to run outside cuts. Remember I told you about that? Therefore, the ball has to be pinpointed and be perfect to be a completion. But I'll tell you what, Chuck Harris, number 60, really put the pressure on Fulmar that time and made him pull the ball high.
It's third down at 10 for Fulmar and company. Pittsburgh operating from its own 18. Stoops in motion. Here's Fulmar throwing, and it's complete. Was he inbound? Yes. Stoops has it. Or is it Hairston? Complete to Russell Hairston, out of bounds, inside the 17.
Okay, on this replay, you're going to watch a good matchup. Now, that new matchup, number 80 against number 23, Hairston. Now, watch him. See him playing him to the inside. That'll take away the post route, but makes him throw the outside cut. This had to be a perfect shot, and there goes the cameraman, Gordy Sager, earning his pay. Oh. What a shot. Nice play, Gordy.
You got to get combat pay on the sidelines in arena football. Gordy gets a gold star. Now Bill Parkinson, the referee, comes in, and we've got the 1-minute warning.
Denver has 3 timeouts. Pittsburgh has 3 timeouts. 1-minute timing rules are now in effect.
which means the clock will stop with incomplete passes, etc., just as in outdoor football.
The gentleman on your left there is Perry Moss. He's the offensive coordinator talking to Brendan Furman.
Let's go 30. Let's go 40. 40 key.
40 key must mean there'll be 4 defensive linemen, and somebody's going to be keying somebody.
That's the Denver defensive call from Tim Markham. Gladiators lead it 28-23 with exactly 60 seconds remaining in the half. Stay with us at halftime. We'll be checking in with Sports Center for an update. Now Pittsburgh has it 1st and 10 from the Denver 18.
You see those 4 defensive linemen down there? That's what he was talking about right there.
Denver trying to put the pressure on Fulmar. The pass, too long. And Fulmar really took a shot that time. It may have been Norris, but he really took a blow as he got rid of that ball and threw it 10 yards beyond the intended receiver.
Also, Mike Stoops, number 30, misinterpreted the play. He ran about a 15-yard out instead of an out and up. So they must have had a miscommunication either on the line of scrimmage or in the huddle.
55 seconds remaining in the half. Fulmar bidding for his 5th touchdown pass to pad the Pittsburgh lead. Hairston, as he hang on, the officials say, yes, it's a touchdown. Russell Hairston has just caught his 4th touchdown pass of the first half. And Pittsburgh leads 34-23. This young man is amazing.
He's amazing because the rules make him amazing. If they had one guy back there that could help him, it would be not as physically impossible to stop the guy. But they beat him every time, Bob, because they allow him to the inside. That time, Mullen had him number 1 and led him to the inside, and he's too good. Now, there's Joe Herring. It's a good ball game. But I'll tell you what, that's the one thing they've got to stop at halftime. The coaches got to talk to each other about that.
I am impressed with Hairston's concentration ability.
Oh, and he catches the ball in the clutch. He's big. You see, that's another thing. He's 6'3", 206. That's good size. They're going to go for 2 here, it looks like.
48 seconds remaining in the half, and the Pittsburgh Gladiators have taken a timeout here. Joe Herring puts the hands on the shoulders of Brendan Fulmar to talk about the 2-point conversion. We'll come back with that 2-point attempt when we come back.
Working hard can really take it out of you. So I look for something to put it back. USA Wet is a sports drink that tastes great. No aftertaste, and it gets me moving because it has half the sodium and more potassium than Gatorade.
USA Wet, the hard-working sports drink with half the sodium. Now in 3 delicious flavors.
It's hard-working refreshment.
Bob Rathman and Lee Corso back in Denver, 34-23. Pittsburgh leading.
Now here's the touchdown play. Now watch Hairston. Now this is Fulmar, number 7. He'll go back to throw. But Hairston is the top of your picture. He gets good protection by 45 Federico there. He throws the ball to the inside. Now watch him lay himself out and catch the football with a great effort. Russell Hairston beats Gary Mullen for a touchdown. Now they're going for 2. They've made 1 out of 3 before this game, and they've already made the last one to number 31, McClellan.
Fulmar looks, throws, complete. 2 points. Easy does it. Russell Hairston making the grab. So tack 2 more on for the Gladiators, and now their lead is 13 with 48 seconds to go in the first half. Pittsburgh 36 and Denver 23. Coming up at halftime, we'll be talking with the 2 head coaches, and we'll also be checking in for a Sports Center update. And Lee Corso and I will be back with halftime statistics. We'll take a look at some of the key scoring plays in the first half here, as this one is going back and forth. But Denver now trailing by 13, 36-23. And it is not beyond the realm of possibility we could have more than 1 score before the end of the half.
Yeah, but don't forget one thing. Denver was behind 21-14 last week. Middle. Listen to him. He wants a middle return. We're behind 21-14. They scored 25 points in 1 quarter. So Denver can come back and score. And that Coach Markham right there knows exactly how to get them back to play.
Denver ready to accept the Lee Larson kick. Terrell Taylor, the deep man. Off the net. Taylor returns. 10. Breaks a tackle, gets to the 15, and is taken down there. So Whit Taylor has exactly 35 yards of real estate to negotiate in 44 seconds.
But he also has the clock stopping now like in regular football. Remember, if he throws an incomplete pass, the clock will stop now with less than 1 minute to go.
Whit Taylor has thrown 14 passes. He's completed 8 for 3 touchdowns and 172 yards.
What the hell's he talking about? What was he doing? He looked like he was looking for a center.
Now Denver has it. First down at 10 from their own 15. Deep to Gary Mullen. He's got the speed. He makes the catch. Oh, my. What a great catch by Gary Mullen. His 3rd touchdown catch of this game. Gary Mullen is from the Pittsburgh area, and you got to like this little guy. He can really burn it down that sideline. 36-29, Pittsburgh, with 37 seconds to go in the half. Marco Morales, the kick. And it's good. A penalty flag goes down. Bill Parkinson, the referee. The flag came after the kick. We may have a personal foul. We'll let Mr. Parkinson decide things here as he talks to Denver quarterback Whit Taylor.
Running into the kicker on the defense. The point is good. We will penalize after the succeeding run back.
Here's the touchdown. And the great thing about this is arena ball, you play both ways. Watch the man on the bottom right, Gary Mullen, number 1. He runs right by Best, number 95, and catches the ball for a touchdown. He's the same gentleman that got beat a little bit later, the play before he got beat. Now watch his concentration. It's exactly the same way that Harrison caught one. Remember, all great receivers have that ability to concentrate on the ball no matter where they are, and he just out-wrestles number 95 Best for the touchdown. A perfect example of arena ball.
Kick off the net. Mitchell in the end zone. Look out, here they come. Mitchell gets it out. He breaks away, spins to the 5. Trimble finally brought him down. So Pittsburgh's got it with 34 seconds to go in the half. 1st and 10 from the 6-yard line. Ricky Mitchell limping just a bit. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast that he pulled a hamstring in practice a couple of days ago, and Joe Herring was quite concerned as to whether Mitchell would be available to return kicks in this game. The roughing the kicker penalty has been assessed against Pittsburgh, so they'll move it back 1st down and 10 from the 3-yard line.
Watch one thing here. Anytime the ball is inside the 5 in arena ball, it's a potential safety.
Hairston out to the 10, to the 13. Clyde Skipper with the tackle.
It looks like that Coach Markham's decided to put Skipper, number 80, on 23 Hairston to wherever he goes, and that's called a matchup. It's the same thing in basketball when you put one player against another, no matter where he goes on the court.
And there is Russell Hairston, who has caught 13 touchdown passes in 4 games. He's got 4 tonight. Volmar has also thrown 1 to Federico. Volmar going deep. Hairston comes back, can't get it. Penalty flag at the 15. Skipper again defending. Parkinson for the call.
On the defense, 8-yard penalty and 1st down.
That's not bad, an 8-yard penalty. I think I'd do that every play. You do it 5 times in a row, it's only 40 yards. Now watch, he makes a little stop and go. Uh-oh, number 80, Skipper almost falls for it, and he gets in his face right there. Now that's a pass interference right there, but you know, only an 8-yard penalty, that's not bad. They could do it 3 times and they'll be in the half.
22 seconds remaining. 36-30, Gladiators. Skipper the guilty party, but I am on Clyde's side. Boy, Hairston came back to get that underthrown ball, and Skipper was caught in no man's land.
Boy, oh, Tim Markham is right in Jeff Bergman's official's ear. Boy, I'm telling you, he has given him, whew, I'll tell you what, you don't get enough money to pay me to be a referee. You don't pay enough money.
First and 10. Oh, a vicious hit, a penalty flag. Denver falls on the football. Keith Smith. Now DeVita. But it's going to be Denver ball. Brendan Colmar really took a hit.
Now the most 54 on this replay. Keith Smith, 6'5", 240, comes from the right of your picture. Now watch, he gets around his man, and anytime you get a quarterback from the blind side, it's a potential fumble, and that's exactly what happened. Boy, that was a great pass rush. He's already had 3 sacks. That's his number 4. That's his 4th.
Rob DeVita with the fumble recovery, and Denver's got it first and 10 at the Pittsburgh 13. Seconds remain. Denver takes the timeout, and now Whit Taylor comes to the sidelines to talk to Markham.
Upper bingo. What do you think?
Let's start out with.
He may be holding pretty good. Let's run a go.
Just when the goal is pumped.
So he can't. Yeah.
Who's the flag? I got a 4-man line too. Trimble, I'm thinking we got 95 on this side. Go left formation, 60 bingo. If you don't have it, that's back 60.
Okay, now you got Stoops at safety. You got 95 over here, okay? So whoever you got, whatever you want here.
Lee, we need a translator.
Okay, I'll tell you exactly what they're doing. They're looking for 95 best. And wherever he is, they're going to try to beat him on a bingo call. And a bingo call means you run a quick post. If he comes up tight on you, you throw that little fade pass over the top of him. So it should be on number 95 on the top of your picture right there. Whoever's on him is going for a touchdown right now.
95, Greg Best. Now comes in right on the outside, top of your screen. Here's Whit Taylor going to throw. Trimble's got it. And out of bounds at the 6, and that stops the clock with 9 seconds to go. And a little pushing and shoving on the sideline. Both benches empty, but just the pushing and shoving, and Best is in there. And now some of the Denver players come over, and it still continues. And you sort of just have to let it go and let it just push themselves.
And actually, nobody ever fights in those things. They just try, they hit and punch each other. So their girlfriend thinks they're tough. I never saw a fight. And one thing you learn. Now watch this play. Now remember we talked about bingo going on number 95 Best. That is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to isolate him man on man and try to beat him to the outside on a call. Okay, now watch number 95. That's Best. Number 40, Trimble's got him man for man, rolls to the outside.
You see Trimble was upset that he was slammed into the boards, but that was a clean play.
I think it was a clean play. But see, that's what happens. The one thing you notice, all these players are smart. None of them took off their helmets.
Yeah, you always look for that guy.
Right. If you take off your helmet, you're crazy. They ought to throw you off the team. If there's a fight, keep your helmet on and get close to the biggest guy you got.
It is second down and 3 yards to go for Denver. And now Taylor to throw. Too long for Mullen. No interference. Mullen upset that the no call.
nice defense by Rock Richmond that time. Richmond had him covered and took him to the inside and forced him to the outside. Good defensive play by Richmond. Now watch, at the top of your left-hand picture, he forces him to run an outside cut, which makes the ball have to be perfect. He stripped him a little bit, but it depends on who you... Now see, he's got the inside taken away. He's taken him. Mullen bumps off of Richmond. Nice play right there, but the ball has got to be perfectly thrown to the outside. And they show that on the replay, and that's why everybody's booing.
Yeah, they have the tell screens here at the McNichols Arena, and they took one look at that play, and now they're letting the officials have it.
Look at that guy right there. He's got his Denver Dynamite hat on.
6 seconds remaining in the half. Now Denver and Whit Taylor, they've got time for one more play. Let's check this sign out. That says it all about arena ball.
Okay, now this situation here, one thing that Markham told him, he's told Whit Taylor, make sure you don't get sacked, and make sure you throw the ball in the end zone for a touchdown, or throw the ball away and we'll kick a field goal with about 2 seconds to go. That's exactly what he told him. Now let's see if he does what the coach told him to do.
3rd down from the 6. Sack. Back at the 14. Taylor trying to call for a timeout, and 3 seconds remain on the clock. The 5th Pittsburgh sack of the game. But Denver will get one more crack at it here, and it looks like the Dynamite have taken a timeout. And they have.
That was a good play by number 85, Ernest Adams. We talked about him in the previous shows. He's from the University of Illinois. He was a second-team All-Big Ten defensive player and an excellent pass rusher. Number 85, Ernest Adams.
So the Denver Dynamite trailing 36-30. 3 seconds remain in the half, and again, Whit Taylor will try it here on 4th down. Are they going to try to kick now? They put the kicker into the game, Marco Morales, and he will try a field goal here. They'll spot the ball at the 19, so this will be a 27-yard attempt. The kick is blocked into the air. Picked up by Pittsburgh. Federico or Yates. It is Federico, or Dimitrenko, excuse me, with the return. Scott Dimitrenko for Pittsburgh running it down, and that's the final play of the first half. Steve Trimble shaken up.
Oh, that's Taylor. That's Taylor. That's Taylor. He made a saving tackle there, but I tell you what, he might be hurt. Number 10.
Now walking off the field under his own power. As you see, Pittsburgh Scott Dimitrenko heading to his dressing room. 36-30 is the halftime score. The Gladiators taking a 6-point lead into the locker room here at McNichols Arena. The first quarter went this way, with Volmar passing for 2 scores, with Taylor matching that, and Denver led 17-14. In the second quarter, here's the way the scoring went. Volmar with 3 touchdown passes, 2 to Hairston, with Taylor coming back with 2 touchdown passes for the Denver Dynamite. Pittsburgh leading it 36-30 in the second quarter, and the head coach of the Denver Dynamite, Tim Markham, is standing by. His ball club trailing by 6 here at the half, 36-30. And Tim, this is Bob Rathman and Lee Corso upstairs. A wild and woolly first half, great action, and your impressions of your team's play in the first half.
You know, we're not protecting our quarterback. We're getting back to, we got too much leakage there. We've got to get the guy up the field, get some stone. You know, you got to stone him on the line of scrimmage. It's a heck of a fight.
Let me tell you something, Tim. This Lee Corso.
Yeah, Lee.
Hairston keeps beating you on the post route, and I keep telling him you got to play the guy the inside, and I saw you do that. What are you going to tell him? You going to put the guy 6 feet inside him or what?
Well, we're going to try to just hang on to the guy. I tell you what, I don't know if I got anybody over here can cover him. No, the thing we've got to do is get up in their quarterback's face. If he sits back all day long, that guy will kill you.
Thanks a lot, Tim.
Yeah,
Good luck in the second half.
Bye-bye.
It's halftime at McNichols Arena in Denver. Pittsburgh has a 6-point lead over the Denver Dynamite. We'll be checking in with ESPN Sports Center for an update after this.
That'll never happen at Mad Jack's. They have a free lifetime guarantee on all installation labor, and because they're good, they've installed more car electronics than anyone in San Diego. Mad Jack's has installers in every store, no waiting, and the best time for you to come in is right now during Mad Jack's exclusive car electronics sale. They have the best brands, and they're all on sale. You can afford the best when you shop at Mad Jack's exclusive car electronics sale.
Hi, I'm Doug Fuller of Fuller Ford here in Chula Vista, and I'd like you to know about something extra special we have to offer right now.
Fuller Ford proudly introduces the all-new Ford Festiva. Packed full of value, the Festiva is on sale right now at Fuller Ford for only $59.95. That's right, only $59.95. With award-winning styling, great gas mileage, room for 4, and Ford 660 warranty, Festiva is the bargain of the year. There are a lot of good reasons to thank Fuller for Ford.
Technical update. Like nobody's business. That's a technical. I need a vacation. I'll show you a technical.
This summer, you need the airline with low fares to more places. The biggest bargain airline in the land, United.
I've got a vacation.
Be cool, boys.
And I'm not just flying.
Hello, fares.
Nice tipping. I'm flying on vacation in the friendly skies.
Experience the most luscious sunrise in the world. Hardee's Canadian Sunrise Biscuit. Real Canadian bacon, cheese, farm fresh egg, and hickory smoked bacon on Hardee's made from scratch Rise and Shine Biscuit. For a taste so special, it'll brighten your whole day. Hardee's, we're out to win you over.
Everyone, I'm Tom Mees. We're at halftime of tonight's exciting arena football game from McNichols Arena in Denver. The Denver Dynamite trailing the Pittsburgh Gladiators by a score of 36-30. We'll rejoin Bob Rathman and Lee Corso for more of our halftime entertainment and the second half in just a moment. First of all, Bo Jackson. Is he a baseball player, a football player, or both? Well, Bo Jackson told the press on Saturday that, of course, he would like to be both. Now, Bo Jackson right now is a baseball player for the Kansas City Royals. But his agent is negotiating with people in the front office of the L.A. Raiders. Bo Jackson says he'd like to do both.
Any way you look at it, I have to do my job with the Kansas City Royals before I could do anything else. Whatever comes after baseball season is a hobby for Bo Jackson. Just like fishing and hunting, I may pick up another hobby after baseball season.
Bo is a member of the Royals. He has assured me that the only way that he will not be a member of the Royals is if we tear the shirt off his back. With that in mind, we have total confidence that whatever Bo does is going to be in his best interest and also will be in the best interest of the Kansas City Royals.
So Bo Jackson says he will finish out this baseball season with the Royals. Plans to return to the Royals again next season, but in between wants to fit in a few weeks of football with the NFL's Los Angeles Raiders if financial terms can be worked out. Is he crazy or what? We put that question to the Raiders' Howie Long.
It's probably a relive of Cuckoo's Nest. He's playing the part of Jack Nicholson in 1987. He's crazy if he thinks he can do both.
He's such a unique athlete, blessed with the size and the speed, very similar to Herschel Walker. And I think football really missed something when he opted for baseball. And, he might be wanting to prove himself in another sport because he has done fairly well in baseball so far. But I think he would love a chance to play with a great organization again, and the Raiders provide him that opportunity.
I believe it can be done. You look at today's athletes, they're tremendous. He's gifted with baseball talent, and he's gifted with football talent. And it's great to know that the Raiders haven't given up on signing top athletes, and to have Bo Jackson on our roster, hey, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to let the opposition worry about it.
Bo Jackson is an extraordinary athlete. I think we all know that. And if there's anyone who can pull it off, it would be Bo Jackson. I think he's crazy, and just from the pure sense of, if I had it to relive over again my childhood, I'd be down that baseball park hitting a curveball. I mean, these guys go into arbitration and lose for $1.6 million. Sorry, I'm not crying, guys.
Leave it to Howie Long to get through all the clutter and hit the nail on the head. Yes, he really did it at the end of that statement there. And Tim Brando will join me on SportsCenter following Arena Football with more on the Bo Jackson story. In Major League Baseball today, let's go to the scoreboard, beginning with the American League. Some action this afternoon, and the Royals beat Toronto by a score of 2-1 as Brett Saberhagen wins his 15th. He's going on to the All-Star game. Chicago White Sox and the Yankees went 15, and the Pale Hose get 3 in the top of the 15th to win it 5-2. Elsewhere in the American League, it was Oakland down in Milwaukee 6-5 as Mark McGwire had 2 more home runs for the Oakland Athletics. He now has 33 on the year. Minnesota and Baltimore. Just over a few moments ago, the Twins win it 2-1 behind the great pitching of Frank Viola. Cleveland and Texas, that game is in the 5th, and the Rangers have now taken a 3-2 lead. And starting at about a half hour ago, Detroit and California are underway, we understand, and so far no score to report. Also underway, Boston is leading Seattle 2-0. That game is in the first inning of play. Let's move on quickly to the National League for some scores from this afternoon. The Mets beat Houston 9-6 in the Astrodome. Elsewhere, the L.A. Dodgers in 10 innings win the completion of a suspended game over the Cubs 5-4. In the regulation game, though, the Cubs whitewashed the Dodgers 7-0. Tonight in Cincinnati, the Montreal Expos danced on Cincinnati again, beating the Reds 11-5. San Diego beats Pittsburgh in the Steel City 3-1. The Phillies were beaten by the Atlanta Braves in a close one. Rick Mailer beats the Phils again by the final there. San Francisco and St. Louis. That game is in the 8th inning. The Cardinals' 9-game winning streak is in jeopardy. They trail that one by a score of 3-1. We're at halftime from Denver. Our score, the Pittsburgh Gladiators 36, the Denver Dynamite 30. Our halftime continues in a moment.
This is the beginning. The all-new Chrysler LeBaron. Beauty with a passion for driving. Advanced front-wheel drive traction. Positive response suspension. Fuel-injected high-torque power. Choose precision 5-speed. Heart-pounding turbo. All with Chrysler's new 770 protection plan. The new LeBaron from Chrysler. Driving to be the best.
Get low 3.7 financing or $500 cash back on Chrysler LeBaron.
This is where Michael Jordan kept practicing his jump shot when he didn't make varsity. This is where George Brett kept fielding after his team lost the state finals.
Wildcat ball.
And this is where Walter Payton played every game his freshman year as a drummer in the marching band. What do these legends have in common? They've always had a will to win. And they've always had a Wilson.
Working hard can really take it out of you. So I look for something to put it back. USA Wet is a sports drink that tastes great. No aftertaste, and it gets me moving because it has half the sodium and more potassium than Gatorade.
USA Wet, the hard-working sports drink with half the sodium. Now in 3 delicious flavors.
It's hard-working refreshment.
Some fast food places will do anything to sell you a meal.
Try our new family-size fries.
Anything. There's a luau in every bite.
Presenting the world's smallest hamburger.
Well, if you'd sooner do without all those gimmicks, you're invited to Hardee's for thick, juicy, 100% pure American beef burgers, which, quite frankly, speak for themselves. Because at Hardee's, we're out to win you over.
Earlier today was round 3 of the U.S. Senior Golf Open Championship in Fairfield, Connecticut. Chichi Rodriguez entered the third round with the lead, but Gary Player came on strong. Look at this putt on the 13th. I mean, talk about drilling it. That's a fastball down the middle. Doesn't hit the cup. It's still rolling. Keeps the Player at 8 under, tied with Rodriguez. Arnold Palmer had trouble on the day, putting for par on the 14th, misses. Bogeyed and fell 8 strokes off the lead. But on the 17th, Arnie redeems himself with a nice putt, finished with 74 for the day, 1 under after 3 rounds. Gary Player, meanwhile, on the 17th, opportunity for birdie and the lead, and he'll nail it, going 9 under, 1 stroke ahead of Chichi Rodriguez. And Player and Rodriguez playing together today, walking arm in arm up to the 18th green. Chichi missed a tough one, though, for birdie on the 18th. Catches the lip, doesn't get it, gets the tap in, but falls 2 shots behind Gary Player. So Gary Player is the leader after 3 rounds. A 2-shot lead over Chichi Rodriguez, the final round of the U.S. Open Seniors Golf Championships tomorrow in Fairfield, Connecticut. That's it for our halftime update. 36-30, Pittsburgh leading Denver. Let's go right back to Denver. Bob Rathman and Lee Corso.
Back at McNichols, Pittsburgh 36 and Denver 30 at halftime. And Lee Corso, we saw some fantastic offense in that first half.
Boy, have we ever. Now, number 23, Russell Hairston, is setting the all-time record. And here we got him on a replay. Number 1, watching this touchdown. Now, Fulmar, number 7, will drop back and lob a pass in the corner of the end zone. Watch number 23, Hairston, beat number 1, Mullen. But watch the concentration right there by Hairston. Great concentration, gets 1 foot in, it's a touchdown. He beats Mullen. Now watch this. This is arena football, as David Letterman would say, at its finest. Now watch number 1 on the top of your screen. It's the same guy, Gary Mullen. This time he does the same thing to number 95, Best, and he gets a touchdown on the very next play. Boy, is that exciting. Now watch him, the old spike here, and he almost hits Best, and you know where. Watch. Woo! That was close.
Major League spike. Here's the halftime statistics. The passing game so far, Pittsburgh 12 of 23 for 212. Denver with Whit Taylor right there at 213. The field goals a factor. Denver just 1 of 4. Pittsburgh has not tried a field goal so far. It's halftime with the Gladiators leading the Dynamite 36-30. And we'll be back with more from Denver right after this.
Vacation like nobody's business. I need a vacation. Just give me those friendly skies.
This summer, you need the airline with low fares to all 50 states. The biggest bargain airline, United.
I need a vacation, and I'm not just flying. I'm flying on vacation in the friendly skies.
In this reconstituted, freeze-dried, pre-mixed world of ours, it's hard to find a breakfast that's totally made from scratch.
Syrup on that?
Well, at Hardee's, our biscuits are made just that way, with no shortcuts like some other guys use. But then that's probably why they taste so good, and why at Hardee's we can truly say we're out to win you over.
So I look for something to put it back. USA Wet is a sports drink that tastes great. No aftertaste, and it gets me moving because it has half the sodium and more potassium than Gatorade.
USA Wet, the hard-working sports drink with half the sodium. Now in 3 delicious flavors.
It's hard-working refreshment.
It was a quiet night until the party animal came to town.
There's a super party animal. His name is Bud McKenzie. A red hot man and a cold Bud Light puts him in a party frenzy.
He's Bud McKenzie, Bud Light's original party animal.
Oh, yeah.
Bud, don't be stranger.
It's time for the Hardee's Coach's Corner, and Pittsburgh head coach Joe Herring is with us. Joe, Russell Hairston continues to amaze. 4 touchdown passes in the first half.
He's a good player. Sure is, isn't he? Competitor. Yeah. This is Lee Corso. Joe, number 1, Mullen has scored some long touchdown passes for them, too. Do you have anybody that can match up with him either?
Oh, yeah, I think we can. We need to press him some, get up and play him a little bit closer. But he's been playing a good game and making some good plays. That's what this game's all about. Who makes the plays? We make them. They come back and make them. That's what makes it a great competitive game right now.
Great half, Joe. Good luck to you in the second half.
You're welcome. Thank you.
The head coach of the Pittsburgh Gladiators, Joe Herring. Third quarter just about to commence here at McNichols Arena. And Pittsburgh with a halftime lead of 36-30. The quarterbacks, Fulmar, 5 touchdown passes for the Gladiators. Denver's Whit Taylor has 3. And it's going to be Pittsburgh to receive the second half kickoff. Kicking it away for Denver will be Marco Morales, number 93. deep end for the Gladiators. Here's the kick. Off the net, bounds out to the 5 where Mike Stoops picks it up. Runs into Dimitrenko and is taken down at the 8-yard line. So Mike Stoops with the return, and the Gladiators have it first out at 10 from the 8-yard line. Both teams, Lee Corso, took a lot of time in that locker room at halftime.
It's very, very important that the coaches settle these teams down, because 36-30 is a really high-scoring ball game, and you have a tendency to lose your confidence when the other team scores against you like that.
Volmar's first half statistics, 212 yards and a 50-yard deal. Pump fake. Deep for McClellan. Too long. Mullen nearly intercepted. McClellan pushed him down, and Mullen returned the fake.
You know, it's interesting, but in the game of football, in almost all sports, the first 2 series of the second half usually determines who wins the game, and who gains the momentum right now is very important to win this ball game.
Well, that's for sure. Basketball coaches will tell you the first 5 minutes of the second half is often the key. And I know you think it's the same thing in football,
except instead of minutes, it's series in football. The first 2 series is important.
Pittsburgh leading it 36-30. Stoops in motion. Home run play again for Russell Hairston. He's got it. And it's a touchdown. The 5th touchdown reception for Russell Hairston. Clyde Skipper was trying to defend, but nobody's going to stop. A flag was called.
He needs a pass to score on afterwards. The touchdown is good.
So the touchdown stands, and the personal foul coming up against Denver. But how about Russell Hairston? 5 touchdown receptions. Volmar has thrown for 6, and Tim Markham saying, what can we do to stop this man?
I tell you what, Tim Markham might have to dress out. He might be the only guy that can cover him. He's aggressive enough. I think he might try to come out of retirement. I tell you, he's a dangerous receiver. He's got great speed. He's run inside, outside, and without double coverage, it's almost physically impossible to stop him.
Here's the swinging gate, Lee.
Yes, now we'll put everybody to the left. Now watch, if they don't have enough men over, they'll just come right over and they'll kick it. The reason why they put everybody over there is if they don't put enough men, they'll throw the ball and get 2 points.
Larson 2 for 3 in kicking. Taubman got a hand on it, deflects it, and it's no good. Woody Taubman blocks his 3rd kick of the season, and that keeps it a 12-point spread. Russell Hairston, the story for Pittsburgh. The Gladiators lead it 42-30, and we'll be back with a kickoff after this.
Working hard can really take it out of you. So I look for something to put it back. USA Wet is a sports drink that tastes great. No aftertaste, and it gets me moving because it has half the sodium and more potassium than Gatorade.
USA Wet, the hard-working sports drink with half the sodium. Now in 3 delicious flavors.
It's hard-working refreshment.
Bob Rathman and Lee Corso back in Denver. Pittsburgh 42, Denver 30. We have 13:40 left to go in the 3rd quarter as Darrell Taylor is set to return the kick for the Denver Dynamite. And getting ready to move away from Pittsburgh is number 22, the barefooted Lee Larson. And here's the kick. This one off the net. Taylor takes it on the fly. 5, 10, cutback, 15. And hit and brought down at the 18-yard line. Another beautiful reception by Russell Hairston of the Pittsburgh Gladiators.
Hairston is featured in this one right here. There he is right there. He just runs straight down, gives a little fake, and runs by Skipper, and it's all over. The guy is an outstanding player. Now watch him. As he goes down the field, he'll make a little fake to the inside, just a little bit, and then just runs right past him. Fulmer lays the ball up perfect in the right-hand corner. Good eye concentration. Good. Drops his feet inside. Touchdown. It is physically impossible with one-on-one coverage to stop the guy.
First down.
The penalty against Denver for roughing the passers but marked, and now it's a first down and 10 from the 10-yard line. With Taylor's numbers, 4 touchdown passes, giving him 14 in a game and a half. The first possession for the Dynamite in the second half. Taylor throwing, and it's incomplete. Chris Brewer, the intended receiver, number 26. Pass was thrown behind Brewer here.
It was thrown behind him because number 54, Greg Walls, had his hands in his face. One of the things about pass rushing, Bob, is if you can't get to the quarterback and hit him, put your hands up and make him try to throw between your hands on those kind of plays. And Whit Taylor, you know, is not very tall. He's about 5'10", and therefore you got to put your hands up and make him throw through his hands.
Darrell Taylor in motion. Whit Taylor to throw. Incomplete, nearly intercepted by Mike Stoops. Stoops, when he was at Iowa, had 6 interceptions in 1983, and that led the Big Ten. It tied for the 4th best in school history, and he nearly had an arena ball interception here.
Now watch him. He's playing in the left-hand bottom of your picture. He's playing regular zone that time. He wasn't covering anybody, and he almost came out. That's why Taylor didn't see him. Old Mike Stoops was sneaking around, playing a little zone defense.
Oh, that's an illegal word in this league.
I know.
3rd and 10. Taylor, the bomb to Mullen. Penalty flag. Hairston defending. A collision and a penalty. Referee Bill Parkinson to announce the fine.
Number 23 on the defense. The 8-yard penalty and a first down.
We've talked about the league.
There's the matchup right there. 23, the athlete. Hairston against 1, Mullen. You know what can happen sometime with a case like Hairston? He's been running so many of those long touchdown passes, he could get tired when he goes over to play pass defense. That was good strategy on the Denver to try to beat him deep, quick.
8-yard penalty, automatic first. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. There's Russell Hairston trying to catch his breath. I want to ask you your impressions about the pass interference penalty. Whether you think there may be some need for adjustment here. Because it is just the 8-yard penalty. Taylor back to pass. He's throwing over the middle. And it's going to be intercepted by Pittsburgh. Picking it off, number 29, Rock Richmond, with the interception. And the Gladiators get the ball back.
On this replay, you're going to see Rock Richmond, number 29, playing off him a little bit. See him playing to the inside. That's what I'm talking about. You see him playing to the inside, number 29. He's playing deep into the inside. He forces the ball overthrown, and that's the way to play the post route. Force him to go outside. Good play by Rock Richmond.
That's the 4th interception for Rock Richmond. He leads arena football in interceptions.
I'll guarantee you that's one of the things that Joe Herring changed at halftime.
Pittsburgh now up and over the ball. McClellan goes in motion. Volmar throwing to Stoops, complete, and it's out to the 8-yard line, where it becomes 2nd down and about 7 yards to go. Lee, your impressions of that pass interference penalty?
Okay, the reason they have pass interference in this league, and it's so many of them, is the field is so small. You see, there's not enough room in there, and that's why they have a lot of people colliding. Now, Joe Herring is a defensive specialist. In the offseason, I'm sure he'll try to change the rule, but there's no way they can. Playing on this field is almost like playing on a postage stamp. It's so small. That's why you have a lot of collisions.
So an 8-yard penalty rather than a spot foul is...
Oh, yeah, because you'd have 45, 50-yard penalties. The score would be 275 to 280.
Indeed. May be there anyway. It's 42 to 39. 10:25 to go. Volmar gets away, and now he's sacked in the end zone. They're going to mark it back at the 1-yard line. John Norris, the big 6'3", 260-pound lineman was in there, and it's going to be 3rd down for the Gladiators at the 1. Boy, the fans here at McNichols Arena howling for a safety.
I hope they don't show one of those replays up in that Coors Light sign, because we're going to be out of here if they do. That was a bad call. That was an absolute bad call. That was a safety, no question.
Volmar gets new life, but he's still in safety territory.
They've already got one safety today.
Volmar going deep to Hairston. He's incomplete. Penalty flag. He had his back to us upstairs here, Lee. We couldn't tell whether the ball was stripped out of his hands, but a penalty flag went down.
Well, now they've tried Chris Brewer, 26. 26 on Denver. Grab his arm. First down. Boy, that really hurt them. They had third down at about 18. Now they got an automatic first down. That really hurt them. The play that hurt them the worst was the safety before that.
So the safety they did not get. And now here's the pass play.
Now watch 26 and see if he puts his hand on him. I tell you one thing. Holy mackerel. Ooh, Ed Manning, I think, is number 24. I made a nice comment about him that he was a United States Football League official. I can't say anything good about him now. That was a bad call on Manning's part. Jesus.
So Pittsburgh, the beneficiary. First and 10 from the 10. Walmart to pass. Looks, hits Stoops to the 17, and he's driven back. They'll give him his progress out to the 17, and it's going to be second down and 4. Clyde Skipper with the hit. We've called his number many times. As you see Stoops go back to the huddle. But Clyde Skipper has been a key man on that Denver defense.
He's a good defensive back, and he's got one thing the other defensive backs don't have. Like on Stoops' case, he came up, he's 6'1", 183. He matches them size by size. He makes the good tackle, knocks him down. In this league, if you let him catch it and make the tackle, you got a halfway decent chance of keeping the score under 80.
8:45 to go, third quarter. Hairston to the bottom of your screen. And he's picked up by 26, Chris Brewer. You see Brewer backpedaling to get off him, give him some room. Movement, but the man is back. Bomar, looks like a busted play. And Denver stacks him up. 82, Keith Smith leading the charge. Along with number 20, Kelly Kirschbaum.
That's an interesting piece of strategy there by Pittsburgh, an excellent call. What they did was put a man in motion to get one-on-one with Hairston, and they were going to run an option his way because the defensive back was getting 27 yards deep. Worried about the bomb and no support. That was a good strategy call. It just didn't work. Quarterback!
Third and 4. Defenders up tight. Walmart throws to McClellan, and he's tripped up at midfield, the 25-yard line. That'll be enough for a Pittsburgh first down. They'll have it first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
That John McClellan is 5'7", 175-pounder that played at Tennessee, and that time he just ran a quick out. It was a good call because they went to a quick count before the defensive line could hit the quarterback. Excellent play. Excellent call.
John McClellan from Cookeville, Tennessee. He's caught passes. He's rushed the football, recovered a fumble on defense. He gets to hit a lot of categories in arena football, playing both ways. 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Omar over the middle. Hairston's got it, and he's taken down inside the 10 at the 6-yard line. Russell Hairston with another grab. It's a first and goal for the Gladiators.
Here's Russell Hairston, number 23. I think on the top of this picture, you see a good picture of as good a pass defense as you could play, except he got inside position on number 80, Skipper, and that was all you could take. He's so big, he gets inside position right there. You see the size of him? He gets inside position, 241 yards. That's a career for most guys, and he's got him in one game.
Oh, it's just another day at the office for Russell Hairston. He has caught 14 touchdown passes in 4 games. Bomar looking, but the field is shrinking. Now a jump pass, incomplete at the goal line. And Mullen is there defending on John McClellan.
Chuck Harris, number 60, 6'3", 255 from West Virginia, was the man that put the pressure on the quarterback. That's why McClellan, number 31, could not get open. The pressure on the quarterback looks like, to me, the secret to winning in arena football.
Pittsburgh second and goal from the 6. Bomar, 17 for 31 and 291 yards in the game. Pressure. Stoops can't grab it at the goal line. Incomplete. But the great pressure that time from Kelly Kirschbaum, a newcomer to this Denver team.
From Kentucky, 6'2", 235. He was a linebacker at Kentucky and a great football player. 30 years old, come out of retirement. He's a good one.
Kirschbaum is a hard hitter. And there he is, Lee. I know you like his style.
I tried to recruit him when I was at Indiana. We played against him when he was Kentucky. He's a fine football player. He's never wore 20 in his life. He's always been in the 60s and 50s. And there's Trimble over there. He might have some cramps. Remember, arena ball is played inside. The guy's got to play both ways, and they got to drink a lot of liquid.
4:59 to play in the quarter. Budweiser keeps the action going. Budweiser, for all you do, this Bud's for you. Bob Rathman and Lee Corso in Denver. Gladiators lead at 42-30. Listen in to the Denver huddle. That's Perry Moss talking to Russell Hairston.
Tell the Y man to just stand there because he's just going to throw it up there.
Perry Moss, the wily veteran.
Okay, that's exactly the same play called for me when I was at the Atlanta Renegades. Y fade right there. Now, this is exactly what's going to happen. The man on the right side is going to go into the right-hand corner, right back there. He's going to throw it high, and he's going to out-jump it for a touchdown. And what he said to the other guy was just stand there and look like you're stupid. And the guy will jump on you, and he'll throw it to the other guy. Now, watch it. He'll set a decoy short and hit the man in the right-hand corner for a touchdown.
And because he is 6'3", that man will more than likely be Russell Hairston. Stoops is going out there with him, number 30.
Now, Stoops will stop and look like he's going to get the ball, and they're going to throw the ball to Hairston in the right-hand corner. Keep your eye on it. See what I mean? Stop. There goes Hairston
right open.
What'd I tell you?
Makes the catch, touchdown. Absolutely no contest.
Now, that was a great football call by Perry Moss. And what they did is they got the two men to play man for man, and they made them switch off, and they couldn't hear the switch-off count, and that's a touchdown. That's a great call.
Now the Gladiators lead it 48-30. And Joe Herring congratulates Russell Hairston. You think that Joe Herring might be taking Hairston to dinner once or twice?
Well, it's interesting. Amazing statistic. While Hairston was out of there, they didn't make it, right? They put him in one play, and they score. You think he's important?
Oh, just a tad. 12 catches, 247 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Lee Larson, the kicker. 4:53 to go in the third. And the kick is perfect. So the Gladiators at a point, and now lead 49-30 over the Denver Dynamite.
If you made hamburger patties the way most places make hamburger patties, you discover your thick, meaty burgers were suddenly dry, flat, and lifeless. So at Hardee's, we developed a way to make our quarter-pound patties gently, to cook up thicker, full of natural juices. It's a complicated machine, but we can give you an idea of the principle we based it on. Hardee's, we're out to win you over.
4 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Pittsburgh leading Denver 49-30. And the Gladiators getting a break. And what may well be the turning point of the game. We're going to show it to you here as soon as Lee Larson kicks it off to Darrell Taylor. The Gladiators have constructed a 19-point lead at 49-30. Pittsburgh, the #1 scoring team in the league at 3-0. And now Denver trying to come back. Bobbling it is Brewer. Brewer brings it up to the 20, to the 25, and taken down there. Penalty flag goes down. Lee Corso, this may well be the turning point in this football game.
It was a big play because they had him pinned back. Now, Denver had Pittsburgh pinned back. Now, watch. Beaumont goes back into the end zone right here. Under his own power, he goes back into the end zone, and right there they hit him, and the ball is down. That was a bad call. Now, that led to this touchdown play. Now, remember I told you, watch the fade to 23 in the right-hand corner. The man in motion, Stoops, stands there and then does nothing, makes the two guys, look, two jumped on him. 21, Cobman jumped on him, touchdown. That's exactly the same play that Perry Moss called. It's called fade.
There was a incidental face mask called against Pittsburgh. So Denver has it first down and 10 from the Gladiator 22, and Whit Taylor's pass is deflected. He catches the ball at the 25, and he's out of bounds. Mike Stoops coming over to apply the hit in front of the Denver bench, and a little pushing and shoving, and there's big number 65 for Denver, John Norris, and he just got thrown for a penalty. So they're going to have to untangle things as Joe Herring, with his back to you, goes out to midfield to get his guys back to the bench. 4:12 to go in the third quarter, with the Gladiators leading at 49-30. The referee is Bill Parkinson.
65 on Denver.
Right, John Norris did something that all linemen are supposed to do. You protect your quarterback. You never allow the opposition to hit your quarterback in what they think is a cheap shot. And he came off the bench and protected his quarterback. You're not supposed to do that, but I tell you what, I'd rather see a guy fight for the quarterback than sit his butt on the bench and not do anything when his quarterback's getting hit. Look at that guy competitive. You can win with guys like that. Now you gotta put that power into play, not after the play's over. Whew.
John Norris played at American International, Division II team. He's from Stratford, Connecticut. Now, Whit Taylor and the Denver Dynamite have it second and long. Trying to get it back in a hurry. Mullen, complete, penalty flag. Inside the 5. Denver's got it first and goal. Mullen working on Greg Best again. Down.
Okay, on this replay, this number 1 Mullen will beat 95 Best. Now, on the bottom of your screen, remember I asked Joe Herring if he had anybody that could stay up with Gary Mullen? The answer is no. There's his best player, Best, on him. Great concentration by Best, but Mullen makes the play. It's impossible to stop these great athletes one-on-one like this.
First down and goal for the Denver Dynamite at the Pittsburgh 3. Twin receivers, number 1 Mullen, number 42 Darrell Taylor. Now Taylor coming in motion. Whit Taylor back to pass. Incomplete. Intended for Steve Trimble. Batted down at the goal line by the Gladiator defense.
Ricky Mitchell, number 8, came into the ball game and made that play, made a very good play. Now, Tim Markin is concerned. They've got to get a touchdown here. They're down 19, and they've got to get a touchdown. There's Ricky Mitchell, number 8, made a good defensive play in the end zone.
It was probably that good coaching he got at Northern Illinois.
Yeah, by Bill Mallory. I only had him 1 year, and he played offense for me.
2:50 to go in the third quarter. Fumbled snap. Taylor, loose ball. Pitt still loose. Looked like Pittsburgh had it for a moment. And now the officials indicate it is Gladiator football. Craig Federico, number 45, with the fumble recovery. And a big break for the Gladiators as they stick that gauntlet into the Denver Dynamite.
Joe Uri's playing. Joe is playing to the crowd now. You better watch out. Some guys liable to come out of there. They're close, you know. It's not like the National Football League where they're way away from him. These people liable to come over there and deck him. But I tell you what, that was a quarterback center exchange problem between Pat Kane, number 50, and Whit Taylor. That's the first time it happened, but boy, it couldn't happen at a worse time.
So Taylor has had a pass intercepted, and he has lost a fumble. 2 turnovers for the Dynamite, and that went inside the 5-yard line. Pass batted down at the line of scrimmage, and it was number 82, Keith Smith, who got a hand up there.
Now you wonder, why did Keith Smith knock that ball down? Because he's 6'5", 240 pounds, and Fulmer's only 6'1". By putting his hands up, remember I told you, if you can't get to the quarterback, you always put your hands up and try to deflect the ball. Perfect example there by Keith Smith.
It will be second down and 10 from the 5 for the Gladiators. 1:40 left to go, third quarter. Pittsburgh leading Denver 49-30. Stoops in motion. Cuts upfield. The pass comes to McClennan, and he gains a couple of yards out to the 7-yard line.
You might be wondering why they're throwing those short passes right now. The reason why they're throwing those short passes is because the quarterback, Fulmer, remembers that he got caught last time back there for a safety by throwing longer passes and keeping the ball longer. They're throwing shorter passes and trying to get the ball out so they can throw a longer one.
The time remaining in the third quarter at the top of your screen. It's a running clock in arena football until the last minute of each half.
Boy, it's a big play here. They got to stop right here to get back in the ball game.
And it's a completed pass at the 17. Jim Rafferty from Colgate making the grab, and he took that one right off the carpet.
Boy, that was a big play. I tell you what, that could have been one of the big plays of the ball game, too. On the top of your picture, watch Rafferty, number 28, drive his man deep, and he knows where the marker is. The quarterback throws a perfect low outside cut right where the marker is, and that's a perfect first down play.
Jim Rafferty, following some famous teammates, Colgate, Richie Ehrenberg, Mark Herbert, Mark Van Eegen, entering into the world of professional football.
Pittsburgh leads the league on third down conversions. They convert almost 45% of the time, which is excellent offensive football.
And that's the end of the third quarter of play. So the Pittsburgh Gladiators with yet another touchdown pass from Brendan Fulmer to Hairston, and they've built a lead of 19 heading into the final 15 minutes.
You'd expect this Panasonic OmniMovie camcorder to shoot in daylight.
If anyone believes this couple should not be married, let him speak now.
You might expect this Panasonic camcorder to shoot in room light.
Let him speak now.
But what you don't expect is that it can shoot by the light of one candle, and it's VHS.
Let him speak now.
Camcorders that do the unexpected make Panasonic just slightly ahead of our time.
This is a hamburger getting hard and dry because it's cooking on a flame that's too high.
At Hardee's, we make our quarter-pound hamburgers at a lower temperature, so they cook up thicker, succulent, full of natural juices, and the flavor doesn't go up in smoke. Hardee's, we're out to win you over.
Working hard can really take it out of you. So I look for something to put it back. USA Wet is a sports drink that tastes great. No aftertaste, and it gets me moving because it has half the sodium and more potassium than Gatorade.
USA Wet, the hard-working sports drink with half the sodium. Now in 3 delicious flavors.
It's hard-working refreshment.
Tactical update. Like nobody's business. That's a tactical. I need a vacation. I'll show you a tactical. Give me a friendly skies.
This summer, you need the airline with low fares to more places. The biggest bargain airline in the land, United.
I've got a vacation.
Be cool, boys.
And I'm not just flying.
Hello, fare.
Nice tipping. I'm flying on vacation in the friendly skies.
Along with Lake Corso, this is Bob Rathbun at the McNichols Arena in Denver, Colorado. We go to the fourth quarter of play, and the unbeaten Pittsburgh Gladiators lead second place Denver 49-30. Brendan Fulmer, who's passed for 7 touchdowns and 310 yards, leads the Gladiators up to the line of scrimmage first and 10. Pump fake, pressure. Fulmer throws incomplete at the 20-yard line. Well, it's a brother act to the Pittsburgh Gladiators. The head coach, Joe Herring, assisted by his brother, Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck is the man in the right there with the glasses on. He's done a great job with the kicking game. He's the head coach of the kicking game and has done a terrific job with that phase of the game. That good-looking kid right behind Chuck Aaron is Mike Hornsey. I talked to him before the ball game. He says he thinks he can start practicing Monday and be back in about a week. Mike Hornsey, the great quarterback, right there on the sideline.
Mike hit 33 of 55 passes before a knee injury a couple of weeks ago, and the Gladiators Hope to have him back, but Volmar's doing a great job in his stead. And there's a pass play to the near side. Skipper defending, Mike Stoops making the grab. That will not be enough for a first down. So again, Lee, here's a third down situation. And you're right, Denver has to do a couple of things. They've got to stop Pittsburgh on third down, and they've got to figure out a way to get the crowd back into this game.
Okay, one thing they got to do here for sure. They've got to put the pressure on Fulmer, number 7, because if they don't, he's going to complete the pass, I'll guarantee you. The pressure is the key right now to winning the game for Denver.
Raftery comes wide to the near side. Tight formation with those wingbacks in there. Stoops goes in motion. Volmar to throw. To Stoops, it's complete. No first down. A penalty flag thrown back at the line of scrimmage for a hold. So the Stoops reception may be nullified here.
68 holding on the offense.
The guilty party, number 68, Willis Yates, the right guard.
Willis Yates played at Texas Chattanooga. Now watch him. He's the bottom right-hand picture right there. He's blocking on Chuck Harris, number 60, and he grabs a hold of him right there and holds onto his jersey and pulls him down. That's a penalty. Now, the reason why he had to hold him was because Harris made that good fake to the outside and came to the inside. Nice play by Chuck Harris, number 60.
Now, it is third down and about 8 yards to go. Back at the 18. Volmar calls the play. 13 minutes to go in the game, and the Gladiators leading it 49-30. Pittsburgh with a win can clinch a tie for first. Stoops in motion. Volmar throws, crossing pattern, and it's going to be incomplete, and a penalty flag. And Lee, you don't agree with that call?
I tell you what. No, I shouldn't say it. Yeah, I will say it. If they don't quit doing that, they're going to ruin this game. You know what I mean? It takes everything out of it. Now, that was a pretty good defensive play.
Number 80, first down, 8-yard penalty.
Now, here's a replay, and we'll take a look at it. Now, I don't know if it was pass interference or not, but I'll guarantee you one thing. The guy's got pretty good coverage on him. He throws the football. Watch number 80, Skipper. Does he hit him before? I'll guarantee you. Holy mackerel.
Well, that was a great defensive play.
Sure it was. And see what happens, it changes the whole game, the complexion of the game away from them. The officials get to a point where they become too much of a factor in the outcome of the game, and we're not here to see them.
There's Tim Markham, the Denver head coach. He's had more than a couple of calls go against him tonight. First down and 10 at the Denver 24. Clock continues to move. We're down to 12-14 to play, and there's going to be an interception by Skipper. And Denver's got the ball inside the 5. They blow the play dead. The Dynamite have it first and 10 from their own 3. So turnabout is fair play, and Skipper comes back with the interception.
Can you go? Can you go? Can you go? Yeah, go. We need your protection in there if you can go. Get your ass in there.
He's talking to Chuck Harris from West Virginia, number 60. Does he have anything left?
Yeah, but you mentioned a great word there. We need your protection.
Come on, let's get back in this thing.
Yeah, he wants to get back in there with his pass protection because he can if he'll give Whit Taylor just enough time to throw the football.
And Whit Taylor is the man with the loaded gun right now. 49-30 Gladiators, 11:45 to play in the game. Incomplete, and no flag. It'll be second down and 10. Taylor with a glance to his bench, and Joe Herring of the Gladiators
it's starting to be
gets
funny,
a drink.
Yeah, it is. It's starting to be funny. It's hilarious.
Drenched in sarcasm, Tim Markham. Taylor's bomb to Mullen. It's intercepted by Pittsburgh. And making the interception is Russell Hairston, number 23. So Russell Hairston, who has caught 6 touchdown passes, comes up with a pickoff. And that takes a lot of wind out of the Denver sail.
Now, on this replay, Hairston is running stride for stride for number 1, Gary Mullen. He goes up. And remember, the rule is on pass defense, you turn into a receiver as soon as the ball is in the air as a defensive back. And that's what he did. He's tied now with pass interceptions in this league with Richmond. I think they both got 4.
Indeed. Second interception thrown by Whit Taylor today. 10:40, clock running, 4th quarter. Pittsburgh 49 and Denver 30. And Russell Hairston gets a well-deserved breather on the sideline. Omar. Sack, safety. Number 50, Pat Kane. Second sack for Denver, and the Dynamite picking up a couple of points.
Okay, what happened on that play, the receivers ran the wrong route. He started to throw the ball in a quick cut. The receiver fell down, and he had to eat it for 2 points. Now, that could help him.
Middle return.
Now, Denver gets the ball back. 10:20 left to play in the game. We'll be back with the kickoff, and we return to McNichols Arena after this.
Working hard can really take it out of you. So I look for something to put it back. USA Wet is a sports drink that tastes great. No aftertaste, and it gets me moving because it has half the sodium and more potassium than Gatorade.
USA Wet, the hard-working sports drink with half the sodium. Now in 3 delicious flavors.
It's hard-working refreshment.
Prophetic words by Yogi Berra. It ain't over in this game. 10:20 to play, and now 49-32 Gladiators. But it's going to be Denver's ball after the safety, and Darrell Taylor set the return. You get the feeling, Lee, that one spark of offense here by Whit Taylor and the gang, and this crowd's going to be back in it. This will be a rejuvenated football team. Taylor with a return. Upended at the 20. Denver picking up its second sack of the game.
Now watch Fulmer. He goes back to pass, and he wants to throw the ball right now, but the receiver has, see, he jumps to throw the ball, but he finds out all of a sudden that the guy is covered, and there they come. Number 50 comes in there, Keene, and makes the tackle. Number 60, Harris, caused that. Keene got the safety. But the reason why they had that, Bob, was that the pass defender did a good job of playing pass defense on the receiver.
Scott Dimitrenko injured on the Pittsburgh bench. Here's Whit Taylor to pass. Incomplete. Well, speaking about Pat Kane, he's one of the few players in this league who gets to play in his hometown. He's from Denver. Did a whale of a job on that play for the Dynamite, and that last defensive series getting the safety.
It's important if that Scott Dimitrenko is hurt, the one we saw on the sideline, he's the center, and that could help them or hurt them on the quarterback center exchange. Watch that. That could be a key play later on.
Here's one of the more impressive statistics tonight. The attendance at McNichols Arena, 12,634. Great crowd here in the Mile High City. 10 to play. Trimble in motion, and it's with Taylor to throw. Going deep for Mullen. Incomplete and deflected, and a great play by Rock Richmond.
Richmond did something on that play that you can't coach. On this replay, you're going to watch him what they call close to the ball. Now watch him. On the top left of your picture, as the ball is in the air, watch him close, which means watch him get over there quickly and knock the ball down with his left hand. An excellent defensive play by Rock Richmond from Oregon.
With Taylor's numbers. He brings them up 3rd down and 10. Mullen wide to the far side. Still pressured, and he's dropped inside the 15, back at the 14-yard line as Pittsburgh picks up its 6th sack of the game. And Taylor is hurt. Ernest Adams, number 85, getting up. He was the man who sort of helped sandwich Taylor.
Right, Wall's number 54 kept him from going outside, and 85 Adams hurt him. And I think what might have happened, he could have fallen on the ball. He might have been hurt by falling on the ball, and they're calling for the trainer.
Timeout on the field as they attend to quarterback Whit Taylor. 8:12 to play in the game, and a timeout on the field. The Gladiators lead Denver 49-32, and we'll be right back.
Experience the most luscious sunrise in the world. Hardee's Canadian Sunrise Biscuit. Real Canadian bacon, cheese, farm fresh egg, and hickory smoked bacon on Hardee's made from scratch Rise and Shine biscuit. For a taste so special, it'll brighten your whole day. Hardee's, we're out to win you over.
8:12 left to play in the game, and the injured player is Denver quarterback Whit Taylor. Take a look at the play and this attempted pass here, Lee.
Okay, 54 Walls will keep him from rolling to his outside right there. Walls forces him in the middle, and now comes Adams, number 85, and hits him right there, and they sandwich him. Now, in an injury like this, you don't want to move him. Larry Franca is the trainer, and their experience. The reason why they're taking a lot of time is it might be up in the chest area, and they don't want to make sure that he has no problems with his neck. That's why they'll take plenty of time to see how he is. I think as a football coach, probably the scariest moment you have in your life is when they start working on the neck area of one of your players.
Indeed. The man who will take his place is now warming up, and that is Stuart Mitchell from Cornell, 6'3", 205, and 22 years old. We'll recall in our first telecast, Lee, it was Mitchell who rallied Denver in the final quarter from 44-36 down to tie Chicago, and they won the game in overtime.
He's 29 out of 69 passes for 411 yards and 7 touchdowns. So he's a capable replacement. We're most concerned now about Taylor and making sure that he's okay, but the coach has to do something. He has to get his second player ready. I mean, I don't want people to think that they don't care about Taylor, but they do, but they have to get the next player ready. But they will never move a player in any league until he's absolutely ready to be moved if you sit here the rest of the night.
And the way it should be.
Absolutely.
So Whit Taylor, who made so many headlines last weekend with touchdown passes to match his number 10, now raises up.
Okay, one of the things you make sure when you look, you watch a player's legs. If the player's legs are moving as a coach, you really sigh of relief, because that means he doesn't have a serious back problem, and it could be paralyzed. So that's why if he's moving his legs all right, he's just been knocked out. And I think he's going to be all right now.
A rough second half for Whit, 2 for 10 and 28 yards, and tough pressure by Pittsburgh.
You know what they're asking him? They're probably asking where you are, and he thinks he's back in that lumber yard back in Nashville, where you said he was in the lumber business. He's going to be all right. I think he's a very competitive young man, but I doubt if you'll see him again tonight, because you never take a chance with a quarterback or anybody that's had an injury.
So now, Stuart Mitchell takes center stage for Denver, and as we experienced in an earlier Denver game, is the fact as Taylor goes to the locker room, is the fact that now with Mitchell at quarterback, who do you put in to replace him if he should go down? And I would guess that would be Gary Mullen.
That's the guy they had at practice that one day we were in. Now there's Taylor walking off. It's a good sign. He's walking off on his own. He doesn't have any, looks like any serious problems except being knocked out. And I'm sure that his wife at home and his family are concerned about it. But once they see that kind of movement, you should be not as concerned.
So it is 4th down. Denver's going to try a field goal from the 7-yard line, and it is blocked by Pittsburgh. It rolls out of bounds. Tom Weaver, the nose guard, number 67 for Pittsburgh, broke through and blocked the field goal attempt by Marco Morales. And now Pittsburgh with 7:55 to play.
Right there. That's on you right there. Kick the line drive about head high is what you kick. 32, Mackay Key.
Now, he's talking about that was on the field goal kicker because the field goal kicker didn't get enough height on it right away. And that's the problem with soccer kickers. And in fact, in the NFL, the first test they give you is they take you 5 yards away from the goalpost and they make you kick it over the goalpost. And if you don't kick it over and you kick it under, goodbye, you don't make it. You got to get the ball high quick as a soccer kicker.
Time remaining in the game. 49-32 Gladiators. Pittsburgh with the ball. And Volmar completes another pass. This one to McLennan. And he drags a couple of people with him down to the Denver 21-yard line. Volmar now is it on 22 of 39 passes. 7 for touchdowns. It's going to be second down and 8. There's a key phrase used by Joe Herring there. Use that 30-second clock.
What the quarterback will do, he'll come up over the ball, and right now he'll look to see how many seconds to go, and then just before 30, he'll snap the ball. There's 12, 11, 10, and he'll go down to about 4 and snap the ball. At 7.
Snapped it at 2. Volmar, penalty flag. Deflection by Prather, and an incomplete pass. But a penalty flag thrown back at where the quarterback unloaded the ball.
Where do you want him to be? Anywhere? Tell me where you want him. What? Was that holding? Holding? Yeah, take him back.
Bill Parkinson, the referee, will make the call.
98, he tackled the man.
Key.
So it's second down and 13 back at the Pittsburgh 23. 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Gladiators leading it 49-32.
Let's get back in this thing now. Let's go 6 minutes.
That's right. Here, Markham is making a good point. He wants to get back in this ball game, and the only way he's going to catch him is on defense, not on offense. He's got to shut him down to win this game. His defense has got to win this game, not his offense.
But lurking as a wide receiver is Russell Hairston, number 23 at the bottom of your screen. Stoops in motion. Volmar to pass toward Hairston, and it's going to be incomplete, and a penalty flag goes down. Clyde Skipper with a little forearm right into Hairston, and a flag goes down. Skipper claiming that he was the man who was pushed.
Now, I don't believe that. I think this time it was a legitimate pass interference call. Watch, a good chug there, but he should look back for the ball. The rule is once the receiver looks for the ball, the defensive man should look for the ball, and he won't call it a pass defense.
You might have heard Parkinson in the background saying there's no foul because the ball could not have been caught.
Oh. Pass interference is on a catchable ball. Only a catchable ball.
Coming up next on ESPN Sports Center. We're along to update all the action of a big sports Saturday. Gladiators leading this one 49-32. Pittsburgh trying to remain unbeaten and in the driver's seat with 5:45 to play. Intercepted by Denver. Clyde Skipper gets a block. He's in the 20 and out of bounds at the 23. Ridden hard into the Denver bench, and a penalty flag goes down. 5:30 remaining, and Denver's got the ball. Personal foul against Pittsburgh. Denver's got it first down. The penalty will move the football inside the 20-yard line, and Parkinson puts it down at the 18. So now Stuart Mitchell in Denver.
Personal foul. 98, late hit out of bounds. First down, Denver.
That was the best call you made all night.
First down at 10. Mitchell brings him up to the line. If they can strike quickly, Denver is 17 down. Doesn't take long in this game. Mitchell faking, firing, incomplete at the foul.
One thing that hurt Mitchell before was they put a lot of pressure on him. Their Mullen ran an inside cut and was open, but Mullen Mitchell did not throw the ball straight. Now, what happens on a quarterback when he comes in, what I used to like to do is throw a nice short completion, a screen or a nice short pass to get his confidence up. Not to try to throw a complicated pass. That's tough on a guy coming off the bench.
Darrell Taylor in motion. A flag is thrown. Mullen with a completed pass, and he gets out of bounds at the 12. You see Mullen going out of bounds, and of course in outdoor football you stop the clock here, but not in arena football. It will roll till the 1 minute warning.
It's a 3-yard penalty. Take the play. It's a 3-yard penalty. Take the play. That was a great call too. That one there right there. Boy, that was a great call.
You never talked to referees that way, did you, Lee?
I tell you what, Markham's done more talking to referees tonight. This is his first year as a head coach. He's talked to them more tonight than he has in his 20 years as an assistant. He's waited for this opportunity to get on television and talk to the officials.
It'll be second down and about 2 yards to go from the 11-yard line. The time remaining. Pittsburgh leading 49-32. Weaver, DiMatrico, Walls up front for the Gladiators. Trying to put the pressure on Mitchell. Mitchell wrapped up by Walls. Gets it inside the 10 down to the 8. First down, though, for Denver.
One of the things Denver's got to do now is they got to go in and out of huddle quicker. I mean, the clock is now an enemy.
40.
Not only is Pittsburgh, but the clock is.
Got a 40. No, we're not going to make the corner. 60. Okay. I'm 60.
Batted down. And a good play there by Craig Walls, the big lineman from Indiana. 3:35 to play. Gladiators with a 17-point lead. And Denver so quickly trying to put points on the board.
And as you said, the clock is still moving so that it becomes an ally for the Pittsburgh team and an enemy for Denver. What they need to do is try to throw touchdown passes. No more short passes. All touchdown passes. If they hit one, good. If they don't, try it again.
Stuart Mitchell passed for 6 touchdowns and ran for 2 in the opening game win in Chicago. He's spelling Whit Taylor here, who went down with the injury. And Mitchell is hit hard as he gets to the 10. Tom Weaver from Kentucky State, number 67, making that tackle.
That's a nice play by Tom Weaver. Now watch, the quarterback will go back. The pass protection is good. Watch the man in the back. The defensive secondary's got excellent coverage, and that causes the sack right there. 67 closed real nice on him, Tom Weaver.
There's a timeout on the field. 2:59 to play in the game. Pittsburgh leading Denver 49-32. We'll be right back.
Working hard can really take it out of you. So I look for something to put it back. USA Wet is a sports drink that tastes great. No aftertaste, and it gets me moving because it has half the sodium and more potassium than Gatorade.
USA Wet, the hard-working sports drink with half the sodium. Now in 3 delicious flavors.
It's hard-working refreshment.
Run that. Why don't you run that? Let's go.
First place and unbeaten Pittsburgh leading Denver 49-32 in the fourth quarter. 2 minutes and 59 seconds remaining here at the McNichols Sports Arena in Denver. Joe Herring, the Pittsburgh coach. Now third down for Denver. Coming up next, ESPN Sports Center. Tom Mees and Tim Brando standing by. Immediately following our arena football game here in Denver. Third and goal from the 10. Penalty flag. That pass went through the hands of Craig Federico, number 45. Question of another penalty. This one holding against Denver. 2:51 to play in the game.
We're close. We got to. No. Holding.
on the offense. Penalties decline. 4th down. Let's go. Let's go. Get one.
So it is 4th down and goal from the 10. So the last chance for the Denver Dynamite here.
It might be right. Might be right.
Incomplete. Pittsburgh ball. Stoops defending on Darrell Taylor, and Mitchell was in heavy traffic.
He was put under a lot of pressure, and I tell you what, the Stoops is an outstanding player. But the secret to this defense is they put the pressure. They couldn't. There's no way that they could protect them. Watch the corner. Watch the fullback. Played at number 34. He misses his block on number 54 Walls, which intimidates number 2 Mitchell, who throws it away, and Stoops makes a good play, number 30, on Darrell Taylor, number 42. Is that enough names and numbers for you?
Love it.
There's Hohensee on the sideline again, getting ready to play soon.
2 minutes to go in the game. Lee, your impressions of Brendan Fulmer. I thought he's done just a terrific job tonight. 318 yards as he hands off to Federico. He was 22 for 41, 7 touchdown passes, 6 of them to Russell Hairston.
You know, this is going to be an interesting situation. When Mike Hohensee comes back, he's the world's greatest quarterback. He might not get to play. They might have to send Hohensee to Denver and let him play for Denver against Pittsburgh. Wouldn't that be a great thing? And then they could play for the championship. There's nobody going to take Brendan Fulmer's place now. The guy is absolutely tremendous.
He has 15 touchdown passes, and as we mentioned, 7 tonight.
These 2 teams play again next week, and it could be a different story. Denver's got a good team.
Pass incomplete at the 20. The clock will continue to run until we get to the 1-minute warning. Woody Cotman defending. The clock will run down to a minute, then they'll stop it. Bill Parkinson will announce how many timeouts are left, and then we'll play with the clock stopping as in outdoor football.
1-minute warning is now in effect. Timing rules in effect. Denver has 2 timeouts. Pittsburgh has 3 timeouts remaining.
See, ask it or tell him. There's Joe Herring on the Pittsburgh bench. So the Gladiators, 60 seconds away from victory, which would put them at 4-0 and clinch a tie for first in arena football with 2 weeks to go. And Tim Markham's Denver Dynamite thought they had a great shot at home to knock off Pittsburgh, but it was not to be.
Come on, let's go. Make something happen out there. Let's go. All the way, fighting hard.
The scoring certainly has slowed down in the second half, and no offensive points for Denver.
One of those things that's interesting is the fact that Denver and these other teams, they get tired in the second half. Remember, these guys play offense and defense, and if you're going to get tired, you can't play offense as well as you do when you start the ball game. It's as simple as that.
Third down. Stoops right to left. Pressure by Pat Kane, a sack. Back at the 2. Pat Kane had the safety earlier in the second half in this 4th quarter, and that is the 5th sack by Denver. 56 seconds to play in a timeout here in Denver. Gladiators lead the Dynamite 49-32.
Well, there ain't nothing better than a bigger burger.
Some fast food places will do anything to sell you a meal.
Try our new family-sized fries.
Anything. There's a luau in every bite.
Presenting the world's smallest hamburger.
Well, if you'd sooner do without all those gimmicks, you're invited to Hardee's for thick, juicy, 100% pure American beef burgers, which, quite frankly, speak for themselves. Because at Hardee's, we're out to win you over.
49-32. Pittsburgh is on top with 56 seconds to play. The Gladiators have it 4th down, and their field goal kicker, Lee Larson, will come into the game, and he'll boot one from his own end zone. Larson will put the tee down about halfway back in the end zone, so That'll be 58 plus 4, makes it a 62-yard attempt.
He might take a safety here. In other words, the 3 points is not worth it. Just give him 2 points. That's been done before.
Larson with a kick, and that's hits up top and bounds down to the playing field. And touchdown there by Pittsburgh. It did hit the lights in the ceiling here, and
the ball hit the superstructure. Replay the down. And the clock operator puts 7 seconds back on the clock for 53 seconds. 53 seconds. 53 seconds, please.
There's a look at the Iron Man Award winner in tonight's game. It is Gary Mullen of the Denver Dynamite.
Correction, 56 seconds with a play start.
USA wet.
56 seconds.
The new sports drink is giving out that award in each arena football game. And tonight it's Gary Mullen, who played collegiately at West Virginia and has impressed everyone in this league with his great speed.
Played for Don Nealon there, and he's a fine all-around athlete. The thing I like about him the most, he's so competitive. He had a touchdown pass thrown against him, and he come back the very next play and caught a touchdown pass. That shows a great competitive spirit.
So now it's another attempt. And again, it hits in the lights and in the structure above. And this is a problem you have when you try a field goal of this magnitude of length.
56 seconds again. 4th down.
Yeah. And a tip of the cap to Russell Hairston, who has been named the MVP in tonight's game between Pittsburgh and Denver. Not a bad night at all. He made 12 catches. 6 of them went for touchdowns and 247 yards. Russell Hairston, clearly the MVP in arena football.
Everybody at the University of Kentucky should be very proud of him. He's a fine young man, and he's certainly a credit to arena football.
And he's had a pass interception tonight. 62-yard attempt by Larson. Short, and it's going to be returned by Darrell Taylor. Loose ball. And Pittsburgh has recovered, and the Gladiators have it at the 7-yard line with 45 seconds to go. Number 54, Craig Walls, with the fumble recovery.
Boy, you hate to see that happen as a coach. You know, you get beat, but then a play like that happens, and you end the game on a low note. Boy, that really puts the pressure on you.
With the fact that Denver goes to Pittsburgh next week. 45 seconds to play in the game and a timeout on the field. We'll return to Denver right after this.
In this reconstituted, freeze-dried, pre-mixed world of ours, it's hard to find a breakfast that's totally made from scratch.
Syrup on that?
Well, at Hardee's, our biscuits are made just that way, with no shortcuts like some other guys use. But then that's probably why they taste so good, and why at Hardee's we can truly say we're out to win you over.
Time enough for an autograph for some of the folks here in Denver for a visiting player, and that is our Hardee's MVP, Russell Hairston of the Pittsburgh Gladiators. Oh, it feels so good to be 4-0.
Yeah, he and Joe Arian are hugging each other. They deserve it. They've got a fine football team. They're well coached. They do things right. The quarterback will fall on the ball here. They don't want to embarrass Denver any more than they have to.
And they've got a new quarterback in the ball game. Signed this week from William & Mary, Stan Yagiello. Had a tremendous career for the Indians of William & Mary under head coach Jimmy Laycock down in Virginia. Yagiello now backing up Brendan Fulmar. That may very well be the last play of the game. Now they'll have to get one more snap. So the Gladiators go to 4-0. And the Denver Dynamite now 2-2. So Denver sees their chances to tie for first go by the boards. The Gladiators clinch at least a tie for first. And this one is in the history books here at McNichols Arena in Denver tonight. So Tim Markham makes the walk across to shake hands with Joe Herring, the victorious head coach of the Pittsburgh Gladiators. Herring's ball club is now 4-0 as they come into Denver and beat the Dynamite 49-32. MVP Russell Hairston with 6 touchdown receptions from quarterback Brendan Bomar, who threw 7 in all. 1 went to Frederica. That's the final. Pittsburgh 49, Denver 32. Back with a closing comment after this.
Where Michael Jordan kept practicing his jump shot when he didn't make varsity. This is where George Brett kept fielding after his team lost the state finals.
Wildcat ball.
And this is where Walter Payton played every game his freshman year as a drummer in the marching band. What do these legends have in common? They've always had a...
Catches. What are your best? Well, he reeled off a couple. This one against Darryl Strawberry.
Cub Foods is where you'll find great food, like Clement's wide variety of quality meats and sausage products at great prices.
What time is it? Subaru all-wheel drive time. Time to get it all. Up to $2,000 in customer cash rebates depending on model. And financing as low as 0% APR. Time to get incredible savings on an incredible all-wheel drive 2003 Outback, Legacy, or Baja. That's up to $2,000 in customer cash rebates and 0% financing. Hurry to Subaru all-wheel drive time now, because time runs out July 31st.
Today's Critics Corner is brought to you by Royal Caribbean. Get out there. Take a Royal Caribbean cruise vacation.
Long-awaited, highly touted, and unlikely to be scratched, Seabiscuit arrives in theaters tomorrow. And in honor of the occasion, our Gene Shalit traveled to one of the locations where Seabiscuit ran, the famed race course in Saratoga Springs, New York. As the 135th racing season gets underway there, Gene says you can bet on Seabiscuit, win, place, or show.
In 1937, a newspaper cost 3 cents. A Coke was a nickel. You could go to the movies for a dime. In 1937, as America struggled with the Depression, people hungered for heroic diversion. And inexplicably, it arrived in the form of a horse and 3 men weary with loss. An agile-tongued car dealer, Jeff Bridges.
Our horse is too small, our jockey is too big, our trainer is too old, and I'm too dumb to know the difference.
A plainsman with instinctive horse sense, Chris Cooper.
You don't throw a whole life away just cause it's banged up a little.
And the youngster who was born to ride, Toby Maguire.
There's not a lot of hoopla for such a little horse. Though he be but little, he is fierce.
The horse was Seabiscuit, an undersized, awkward, beaten-down bay. How this unlikely animal captured the heart of America on tracks from Pimlico to right here in Saratoga is told in riveting style in Seabiscuit. This handsomely crafted movie, written and directed by Gary Ross, is enriched by some of the most fabulous racing scenes ever filmed. It's a true story of courage and resilience.
I'll lay even money that this nag Seabiscuit couldn't even finish 6 furlongs.
Of 3 dauntless men whose devotion to this nondescript horse led all 4 to triumph.
Why, he may be the biggest sensation on 4 legs since Hope and Crosby. Yes, it's standing room only every time this pint-sized pony slips on a saddle. And if you can't afford the quarter, a comfy tree limb will catch you a glimpse.
Whether your love of horses is unbridled, or if you don't know Santa Anita from Santa Claus, Seabiscuit will have you cheering a champion. A movie that's a winner across the board. And that's the Critics Corner here on location at the Saratoga Racecourse for today.
And dressed for the occasion.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. I loved that movie. Yeah, so it's nice to know we agree.
Looking forward to that. Coming up today, Peter Greenberg is going to have more of his 3-day getaway series for us. This time, convenient and efficient and economical trips you can take in the Seattle area.
I've never been to Seattle.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Great
I've always
city.
wanted to go. Also, the Scotto family is going to be here to cook up some fish. They're grilling fish.
And oatmeal cookies.
Oh, that's a nice combo. But first, your local news.
Friday, you won't believe these medical nightmares. Are they cases of bad medicine? Plus the latest on the Kobe Bryant case. Dateline Friday, 8/7 Central on NBC.
Today is throwing a wedding, and you're making the plans. Which invitation do you like for Sunny and Chris? Log on and vote for your favorite by Tuesday at noon. Presented by Club Red at Target.
All phone jacks are alike. When you plug your computer into it, it takes you to the same internet. So why do others jack up the cost of internet access when Net Zero is only $9.95 a month? And now, with Net Zero High Speed, you can surf the web up to 5 times faster through the same phone jack. Stop waiting for expensive broadband cable or DSL. You can get Net Zero High Speed now for just $14.95 a month. Net Zero and Net Zero High Speed. Both available now at netzero.com.
Take a look at Maury's Brooklyn Park Nissan. Our exclusive buyer's incentives mean you save even more at Maury's Brooklyn Park Nissan. Nissan Altima, 60 months at 1.9%. Pathfinder, $1,500 exclusive buyer's incentive or 60 months at 0.9%. 03 Sentra. GXE's $1,500 exclusive buyer's incentive or 0.9%. Murano. Lease a loaded Murano SL with all-wheel drive for just $409 a month. And now you can build your Nissan and name your price at Maury's exclusive website, buildyournissan.com. Take a look at Maury's Brooklyn Park Nissan, where service is key.
Now from Pier 11, here is your local news update.
In the news, Minnesota's top military man is calling it quits. National Guard General Eugene Andreotti resigned abruptly. The governor's office confirms an investigation is underway into complaints against Andreotti, but they wouldn't elaborate. He is in charge of the state's 12,000 National Guard troops. State health officials are investigating what could be the state's first case of lacrosse encephalitis. An 8-year-old from Wright County tested positive for the mosquito-borne illness. Encephalitis can affect the brain and central nervous system. It's more severe in children under 16. Health officials suggest using mosquito repellents for children that contain no more than 30% DEET. The quest for a new stadium could lead the Minnesota Vikings to Eden Prairie. The Chamber of Commerce says easy access to Interstate 494, Highways 212 and 169, and the Crosstown make it an ideal location. Eden Prairie is right now home to the Vikings corporate offices. Another site for a stadium under consideration is in Anoka County. Jonathan has your forecast right after the break.
Star-Spangled Summer. That's this year's Minneapolis Aquatennial Target Fireworks Show. On Saturday, check out the incredible live pyrotechnics near St. Anthony, Maine. Or catch the dynamic show Sunday night on Pier 11 at 10:35.
Home Furniture's got you covered, especially when it comes to upholstered furniture. Browse through our wide selection of styles and choose the fabric and frame you love. We even have those hard-to-find smaller sofas for your smaller scaled rooms. Looking for that perfect chair? Visit Home's new Accent Chair Gallery, where style meets value in offering every design possible with prices that are unbelievable. Home's new looks in upholstery, in stock or customized just for you.
New from Haagen-Dazs, Desserts Extraordinaire Ice Cream. Decadent flavors like Bananas Foster. Banana ice cream with swirls of brown sugar. In a word.
Incredible.
Extraordinary. New Desserts Extraordinaire. Extraordinary ice cream from Haagen-Dazs.
Welcome back. We're seeing some clouds right now, but we're going to see a lot of sun today. Taking a look at the satellite picture, just a few high clouds drifting through southern Minnesota and central Minnesota right now. So for that reason, our forecast will include partly cloudy skies today with a temperature at 85 this afternoon. Winds out of the south at 11 to 22 miles per hour. Tomorrow, hot and humid, chance for thunderstorms by tomorrow night.
Hi, I'm Jack Cameron, founder and president of Appliance Smart. We have over 2,000 appliances on display at our stores, but not only do we have selection in product, but we also have selection in brands.
Appliance Mart has purchased 250 truckloads of specially priced refrigerators. Hundreds arriving daily, all with warranty, and we must liquidate immediately at 20 to 50% off. If you don't buy a refrigerator from Appliance Mart, you will pay too much. Financing available with no interest until January 2005 for purchases over $499.
We buy smart, you save smart.
We're back on a Thursday morning. It's now the 24th day of July, 2003, and you folks at home and the crowd outside are listening to the Goo Goo Dolls. Katie calls them the Goos. And they're singing the song Name. It's a song that took the group from the streets of Buffalo to international stardom back in 1995. Put them on the charts for the very first time. And tomorrow, the guys will be here live on the plaza as part of our Endless Summer Concert Series. So either tune in or if you're in the area, come on down, get a seat early. Should be a lot of fun. Yeah. Meanwhile, inside Studio 1A, I'm Matt Lauer along with Katie Couric and Al Roker. And coming up in this half hour, you could probably say they got a little help from above. We're going to talk with the winning team from the American Solar Challenge. They put the pedal to the metal, racing from Chicago to California, fueled only by the sun.
Of course, it's dark there now, so
the car isn't going anywhere.
Also, if you're itching to pack your bags for a long weekend, our travel editor Peter Greenberg will be here to take us to one of the most scenic parts of the country, the Pacific Northwest. including an island you've probably never heard of.
And a little bit later, one of the first families of food is here with us, the Scotto family. They're going to be with us to show us how to make a superb marinade for grilled salmon and a tasty salad with sun-dried tomatoes and spinach.
It's the real deal today.
All right.
I realized that Rosanna and Elena and Marion look so good because they don't eat any of the food they make.
No, they give that
Elena
up to
was
Anthony.
eating an egg white omelet this morning, and Rosanna was eating oatmeal. I was like, what's wrong with you people?
They're saving it all for later.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, before we get to the Scottos and so much more, let's head over to the news desk where Natalie Morales of MSNBC is filling in for Ann all week. Natalie, good morning again.
Good morning again, Matt, Katie, and Al. Good morning, everyone. And another deadly day for U.S. troops in Iraq. This morning, 3 more American soldiers were killed when their convoy was attacked in northern Iraq. The men were part of the 101st Airborne Division, the same unit that carried out that raid Tuesday in which Saddam Hussein's 2 sons were killed. A congressional report released today on the 9/11 attacks criticizes all major intelligence agencies for failing to share information before the attacks. It also charges that the agencies miscalculated the growing threat of terrorism. Security is being tightened around New York City Hall today following the shooting death of a city councilman Wednesday in council chambers. The gunman was then killed by a police officer. Police say the killer and Councilman James Davis walked in together, bypassing metal detectors. New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg is now ordering all city officials and their guests to pass through metal detectors at City Hall. The mayor walked through one himself this morning. For the first time ever, Californians this fall will have to decide whether to oust Governor Gray Davis and replace him with somebody new in a recall election. Davis says he will fight to keep his job. And some would-be immigrants are back in Cuba today after trying to come to the U.S. in a 1951 Chevy. The Coast Guard spotted 12 Cuban migrants floating in a converted Chevy pickup truck with a propeller attached to the drive shaft and barrels attached underneath. They made it within 40 miles of the Florida coast before they were picked up. Haven't seen a Chevy quite souped up like that. It is 9:03. Back over to Katie and Matt.
That's pretty ingenious, don't you think?
It really is. Now, they've done it with bathtubs and other floating devices, but this is unique.
They wanted to go unnoticed, apparently. Anyway, Natalie, thank you very much.
We're going to head outside for a check of the weather from
Mr.
Broker.
Thank you very much, Matt and Katie. We've got some sunshine finally out here, which is awfully nice. And we've got take a look there. Very nice. And this young man from Auburndale, Wisconsin. Good to see you. How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, you had some friends here earlier who had inflatable cheese heads, but they're gone. What happened? They ran out of air for their cheese heads.
Probably.
Okay, well, thanks for coming down. Let's check your weather, see what's going on. We'll show you for today. Wet weather along the eastern seaboard. Hopefully that'll burn off. We'll get some nice sunshine. We've got sunny skies in the Pacific Northwest. Wet weather in the southwest. Hit or miss showers and thunderstorms. Heat continues there as well. And scattered showers and thunderstorms along the southeastern Atlantic coast. 96 degrees today in Dallas, Fort Worth. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Good morning. It's going to be getting warmer here in the Twin Cities and a little bit more humid, too, as we head into this evening. Taking a look at the state forecast, another great summer day. Temperatures mainly in the 80s across the state. There will be some thunderstorms forming in southern Canada, and some of those may get into extreme northern Minnesota by this evening. Our Twin Cities forecast, partly cloudy today, becoming windy. South winds increasing at 11 to 22 miles per hour. Highs in the middle 80s. As we get into this evening, becoming more humid, overnight lows in the upper 60s. Hot and humid on Friday with a high at 90 and a good chance for thunderstorms Friday night.
Some nice folks. So what are your names?
Myra.
And
Nicole.
where are you guys from?
I live in New York.
And where are you from?
And I'm from Italy.
Italy. All right. You want to talk to the Scottos over there?
We know them.
You know the
Yes,
Scottos.
of course we do.
Who doesn't know the Scottos? Who, especially you don't want to really know Anthony, but you can't help it. Let's head on down to Washington D.C. Willard Scott knows the Scottos, don't you, Willard?
I sure do. I'm a Scotto myself. You're a matchmaker up there, Al.
That's right. You're a Willard Scotto, and of course they're a Scotto.
Willard Scotto. Hey, you know, this weekend marks the 50th anniversary of the signing of the armistice ending the Korean War. Some people called it a police action, but I don't think the military or the folks that fought in the war considered that a police action.
We considered it a war.
Mary Mason, Colonel in the United States Army, welcome. And you've really got a lot.